CBS New York, World Series time, 8:15.
From Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, CBS Radio Sports presents the 1978 World Series on the CBS Radio Network and around the world through the American Forces Radio. Hi, everybody. I'm Jerry Coleman, along with Win Elliott and Bill White, getting set for game number 2 between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees. This broadcast is sponsored by Western Union, by Quantel Business Computers, the Common Sense Business Tool, by Ford Motor Credit Company, the people who want to give you credit for being you, by the A.B. Dick Company, makers of the 990 copier and the Magna 2, and by Kinney, the great American shoe store.
Tonight's second game of the 1978 World Series between the L.A. Dodgers and the New York Yankees is sponsored in part by Getty Oil and by General Tire.
Game 2 of the Diamond Jubilee World Series here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles between the Dodgers and the Yankees, and it'll be Catfish Hunter with a record of 12-6 this year, trying to stop the slide of the Yankees. He'll be going up against right-handed Bert Hooton. His record 19-9 this year. The Dodgers last night took the Yankees into camp 11-5. Tommy John got the win in that one. Ed Figueroa the loss. The weather here is absolutely ideal. Into the 90s today. It looks like it'll be in the mid-70s at game time. We'll be back right after this message.
There's nobody exactly like you. And that's why whatever work you do, whatever Ford or Lincoln Mercury vehicle you want, Ford Credit is ready to help. Help with simple, time-saving, flexible plans to make that car your own. You see, the automotive financing people at Ford Credit understand your needs and the importance of financing flexibility. They know how vital it is to tailor payments to your budget, to give you a helping hand if illness strikes, you're laid off, or your spouse quits work. And the credit decision is quick. In fact, your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer can handle everything right in the showroom. So remember, when you're buying or leasing a new car or truck, Ford Credit wants to give you credit for being you. Tell your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer you'd like to finance with us. Ford Motor Credit.
The second game of the 1978 World Series here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, and tonight it'll be Jim Catfish Hunter going for the Yankees, Bert Hooton going for the Dodgers. The Yankees are in a position where they have not been able to pitch their best pitcher, Ron Guidry, until Friday night against Don Sutton at Yankee Stadium. So we tangled with catcher Thurman Munson to talk to him about that particular problem. One thing we wanted to know, had Catfish Hunter come all the way back?
Well, Cat's been throwing well. He got beat his last start against, was it Kansas City or Cleveland? You know, he didn't pitch real well, but he's throwing well. I don't agree with you that it's a must game to win. If we're down 2-0, you got to win 4 to win everything. We go into New York, and we play as well in New York as they play here, so it's not a must game by any means.
On the ball club of the Dodgers, who do you worry about?
They're all good hitters. They're all contact hitters. Mundy's the only guy who strikes out a little bit, and he's a long ball threat, and he's a good outfielder. They've got a fine team and good personnel.
Thurman, you've been taking some heat about your arm. Does it bother you personally?
Well, I've taken heat everywhere. I still threw out 50% of the runners this year and last year and 70 the year before and 7 the year before that. And, they always give you heat about something. Yeah, I've had a bad arm all year. I've had a bad leg all year. People that give you heat about your arm don't even know. Maybe you shouldn't have been playing, and you went out and you played a lot of games anyway. But that's the way it happens in this game.
Well, Thurman Munson said this is not a must game. Don't you believe it? The Yankees do not want to go back to Yankee Stadium trailing 2-0. Outside of Ron Guidry, their pitching really does not match up right now. We'll have to wait and see how it develops. We'll continue in just a moment.
Someday you'll own. Someday you'll own. Sooner or later you'll own Generals.
Don't buy tires until you visit your General Tire headquarters. You'll find a tire that's right for you. and a price that's set for today's budget. Choose from steel-belted radial, glass-belted polyester cord, and economical 4-ply nylon cord tire. Or go with the sporty look of wide leather whites. They all incorporate General's 62 years of tire building know-how. Quality, choice, price. General has the tire for you. Check your yellow pages for the General Tire headquarters nearest you.
Sooner or later, you'll own Generals. Sooner or later, you'll own Generals.
At Dodger Stadium, Game 2 of the 1978 World Series, getting ready to come your way, and on the field right now, the UCLA Marching Band entertaining the folks here. Last night, a record crowd of 55,997 were on hand to watch the action here at Dodger Stadium. And once again, Catfish Hunter, with a record of 12-6 over the year, who came on strong in the final phases of 1978. He's going up against the knuckle curveballing specialist Bert Hooton, who was the Dodgers' best pitcher overall. We also talked to a man just before we came up to the booth who seems to get things together when it comes to October. Last year, he was the playoff hero, left fielder Dusty Baker. This year, very quietly, although Dave Lopes had the 2 home runs last night, it was Dusty Baker who chipped in with 3 base hits, a home run, and a couple of singles. And we talked to Dusty about the October madness and the playoffs in the series that seems to come his way every time this year.
Like, really, I think I've had it all my life, but I was on teams where I couldn't use it, to my advantage. I tell you, it seems like, at the end of every season, I was swinging a bat good, then I just had to go home and watch other guys on TV. But I don't know what it is. It just seems like the crowd and just the feeling of being in the World Series, and this is where I wanted to be ever since I was a kid. And just, like I have my chance, so just try to utilize it.
Dusty, a more serious vein. The Dodgers have had to shift gears tragically today. A funeral for Jim Gilliam this morning, a World Series game tonight. Can you get your mind on the game?
Well, like right now, it's a little tough. Simply because, like, I'm late now and everybody else is sort of late. We're running behind schedule and everything is like rush all day. But the only thing is we're just going to have to take a little time off after batting practice and just try to cool out and just get everything back in the proper perspective before the game starts.
Dusty Baker, the Dodger left fielder, and this morning, Jim Gilliam was laid to rest at Inglewood Cemetery. He was only 49 years of age. He left his wife, Edwina, and 4 children, Darrell, Yvette, Catherine, and Malcolm, and his mother, Catherine Gilliam. Today, the Dodgers retired their 5th number ever, the number 19, the uniform worn by Jim Gilliam. He joined Sandy Koufax, numbers 32, Roy Campanella, 39, Jackie Robinson, number 42, and Walter Alston, number 24. So for the Dodgers, a very poignant day in their lives. They laid to rest possibly the most popular of all Dodger players, Jim Gilliam, who spent 26 years in the Dodger organization as a player coach, and a full-time coach, Winter League manager, and a batting instructor. Say hey, coffee lovers, now Mellow Roast will see you through the series with the kind of full-flavored coffee taste that you love. Mellow Roast blends 3 kinds of rich, robust coffees with roasted grain, so that the full coffee flavor comes through smooth and delicious, but without bitterness. So make a real hit with your home team. Stock up on plenty of good Mellow Roast today, and get great coffee taste without bitterness, cup after delicious cup. Mellow Roast coffee, grain, and beverage, available in ground and inches.
Take your contact, take it now. Give your cold to Contact.
Can your cold medicine fight the congestion, shrink the swollen membranes, help relieve the runny, sneezy, cloggy misery caused by every known cold virus? Are you sure? Contact can. Today's Contact does all that up to 12 hours, all day, all night, no matter what cold virus attacks. That's the wonder of Contact.
Give your cold to Contact.
Take only as directed.
In the second game of the 1978 World Series here at Dodger Stadium, the Dodgers are playing with the same lineup that they sent in last night. A lineup that won the ball game 11-5. In effect, slaughtered the Yankees. They were leading 7-0 before the Yankees went on the board with a Reggie Jackson home run. The Yankees, on the other time, are playing with a makeshift outfit. Willie Randolph, their regular second baseman, is ineligible for the series. today, Gary Thomason is in center field for Mickey Rivers. Also coming on in special roles, Jim Spencer. He'll be at first base for the injured Chris Chambliss, and Brian Doyle will be at second base for the injured Willie Randolph. So the Yankees are going to have a makeshift outfit. They're going to have to make the best of it, hoping that some of their starters will be ready to go when they return to New York on Friday night. So once again, this game getting underway shortly. Jim Hunter with a record of 12-6 going up against Bert Hooton, the right-hander. His record 19-10. A beautiful evening here at Dodger Stadium. Hang on, the action coming your way shortly. We'll return to Dodger Stadium in 1 minute on the CBS Radio Network. I'm Jerry Coleman, CBS Radio Sports.
Jackie Stewart, winner of more Formula One Grand Prix automobile races than any driver in history.
Formula One racing can be incredibly expensive. Even tires and fuel don't come cheaply. Of course, in racing, the price of fuel is not much of a consideration. But when you're driving down the highway in a car that doesn't deliver such terrific gas mileage, and you've got to use premium gasoline in that car, well, then the price of gasoline should be a consideration. Paying premium prices for premium gasoline is not something I'd care to do. Not when there's a premium that sells for less than most other major premiums. Getty Premium. Getty offers quality premium gasoline without the premium price. That means you can get the power your car demands and pay less for it. So remember, when you fill up next time, fill up with Getty Premium. The premium that gives you more miles for your money.
WCBS, New York.
The Dodgers starting lineup for this evening. Batting first.
From Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California, this is Win Elliott with Bill White, and CBS Radio Sports is pleased to present the second game of the World Series between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Some of the ceremonies have already been completed here at Dodger Stadium. The New York Yankees already have been introduced, and the Dodgers, the winners of the opening game last night, 11-5, are in the process of being introduced. The weather couldn't be better. It's typical midsummer shirt-sleeve weather, walking shorts all over the crowd. The suit coats are outnumbered maybe 1,000 to 1. The sun just going down out here in California at 5:27. That's the setting for this second game, and the manner of must game for the New York Yankees, and I must report at this point that they are somewhat weakened as they go into this second game. There are 5 lineup changes, hitting positions and substitutions because of injuries. Let's run them down. Batting first will be the left fielder, a new position in the batting order for Roy White. Center fielder, replacing Mickey Rivers, will be Gary Thompson, batting in second position. Mickey Rivers has been relieved because of the nagging muscle pains and the hamstring that he's been suffering the past couple of weeks. You may hear or read of a scuffle in the bus on the way to the Dodger Stadium, and the Yankee bus tonight. It was minor, as we have been reported by a man who was there. Mickey wanted to bring a friend on the bus. That's against the rules. There was a little remonstration, and so Mickey took up a taxi to the stadium here. However, manager Lemon has reported that Rivers is not in the lineup tonight because of his injury, not because of the discussion on the bus. Batting third, Thurman Munson, the catcher. The designated hitter will be Reggie Jackson, batting fourth. Moved up in the lineup because tonight he faces a right-handed pitcher will be Greg Nettles, the great third baseman of the Yankees. Lou Piniella moves down a notch as he plays right field for the Yankees tonight. Chris Chambliss, you'll remember, we had reported had an injured right wrist that he had injured in the last of the Kansas City games. Evidently, it was bothersome enough last night so that manager Lemon has decided to replace him for tonight's contest with Jim Spencer. Jim Spencer, a fancy fielding, but much less dangerous left-handed batter than the man he replaces, Chris Chambliss. Brian Doyle, because the pitcher is a right-hander and Brian bats left-handed, will replace Fred Stanley at second base and follow in the batting order. And the shortstop, batting ninth, will be, as usual, Bucky Dent. for the Dodgers. No changes in their lineup. Davy Lopes, Bill Russell, Red Smith, Steve Garvey, Ron Say, Dusty Baker, Rick Mundy, Lee Lacy, Steve Yeager, and pitching, Bert Hooton. And now, we pause.
Jim Gilliam, to whom this World Series is dedicated. Thank you. And now, to honor America, our national anthem will be sung by Vicky Carr.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And so another capacity crowd here at Dodger Stadium awaits the start of the second game of the 1978 World Series. The Dodgers one up, and what a leg up it would give them if they could take this game. Let's quickly give you the arbiters. Haller of the American League at home plate. Third base, it's Pooley. Marty Springstead at second. Largo in right field. Kibler at first base. And Brinkman in left field. And we'll be right back after this word.
The day is done.
Coming home.
It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind.
We'll go home.
So just say bud.
Say bud.
And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of bud is like an easy chair. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Wayne Elliott along with Bill White at Dodger Stadium in California. We're awaiting the start of the second game. It goes in just moments. The Yankees obviously weakened. Well, we're going to have the first ball thrown out for this game by Walter Alston, the all-time Dodger manager, and he's about to perform that function, the ceremonial beginning of any World Series game. As we were saying about the complexion of the teams tonight, the speed boys of the Yankees are not here tonight. That is the second baseman, Willie Randolph, with the hamstring, who normally batted in back of the speedster, Mickey Rivers. They're both out. Injuries. That's going to cut down on the potential for the big hitters, the Jacksons and the Munsons and the Nettles. So the Yankees are weakened that much. And the very steady bread and butter long ball threat of Chris Chambliss. Not that Spencer can't hit it out, he has. Not that he isn't a good fielder, he is a great fielder. But Chambliss is part of the glue that was responsible for that magnificent comeback for the Yankees this year. So the Yankees are hurting. Jim Hunter, a question mark. Not questioning his motivation, not questioning his cool or his instinctive pitching style, but is he physically right? He seems to have lost just that much speed. We'll find out, I think, within the first 2 innings. And there are those who say that his counterpart pitching for the Dodgers tonight, Bert Hooton, despite the fact that he was the most successful of the Dodger pitchers, his figures are indeed very good, 19 and 10. There are those who say he has the muscle, but does he have the temperament to handle this kind of a game? You remember he failed in the playoffs against Philadelphia last year. He didn't do it this year. These two pitchers met last year in the second game of the World Series. Hunter was out early. Hooton was the winner. Let's see what's going to happen tonight as the National League champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, take the field. This broadcast, incidentally, is presented by authority of Major League Baseball. It's intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. And so the home team is out there, and probably in a crowd as big as the largest crowd in history, the 55,003 less than 60 or 56 last night, are hoping they know their team is going to win, but don't underestimate the magic of the New York Yankees. They had a season the likes of which none of us have ever seen before. And to a man, they tell us before game time this morning, this afternoon, that it's just another game after 166 odd. They're not going to quit now. So, Bill White, you've been with them all year. You've seen the magnificent surge they had, the terrific playoffs, the tiebreaker. You must be tired, but do you think the Yankees are?
As I said yesterday, when you cannot be tired. You only have now, at the most, 6 more games to play, including this one. And this is what you play all year for. And you simply must revitalize yourself the last 6 ball games. This is it. This is for the World Championship.
How about the injuries to the Yanks, Bill? Is this a repetition of the middle of the year jinx?
Here again, no excuse. The Yankee bench, I think, has come through before, and you expect Brian Doyle to play well and Gary Thomason to play well, and there's no excuse. You'd like to have your people out there. You don't have them, so you got to go with what you have best there.
There's a young pro speaking about the old pros.
You know, Walt Alston threw out the first ball here tonight. Walt, of course, longtime Dodger manager, and his uniform has been retired. And today at Junior Gilliam's funeral, the Dodgers announced that Jim's number 19 will be retired. Good gesture on the part of the Dodgers. Well, Bert Hooton gets ready to pitch to Roy White as Game 2 of the 1978 World Series is just about ready to get underway. And here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's a fastball. It's too high. Ball 1. White was 1 for 4 last night, struck out 3 times as the Dodgers beat the Yankees 11-5. 1-0 pitch to White, swung on and missed. It's a ball and a strike. White a switch hitter in left hand, and it'll be White, Gary Thomason, and then Thurm Munson against the right-hander Bert Hooton. Hooton rocks and deals a 1-1 pitch to White. Low, it's 2 balls and a strike. Dodgers have Dusty Baker in left field, Rick Mundy, the center fielder, and Reggie Smith out in right. Here's a 2-1 pitch to White. Drilled to right field, but over near the line is Reggie Smith, and he makes a catch on the run. Well, the Dodgers had White played perfectly, and there's 1 away. The Dodger infield has Ron Say at third base, Bill Russell, the shortstop, Davey Lopes, who hit 2 home runs last night, drove in 5 runs as a second baseman, and Steve Garvey at first base. Steve Yeager, who went 0 for 4 last night, the only Dodger held hitless by Yankee pitching, is behind the plate, and Bert Hooton. getting ready to pitch to Gary Thomas. Thomason making his first series appearance for the Yankees. A left-handed batter. Curved ball is down, low ball 1.
Gary put in 5 years with the San Francisco Giants, then went to Oakland, and then came to the Yankees in the middle of the year.
A 1-0 pitch, swung on, bounced up the middle, through, base hit. And quickly, Rick Mundy, Thomason with a big turn, but he'll stay at first base. So Gary Thomason singles with 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. That'll bring on Thurman Munson, the Yankee catcher. Munson held hitless last night. He was 0 for 4. A right-handed batter. Dick Hauser, the Yankee third base coach, and Gene Michael coaching at first base. Win Elliott has already given you the umpires. Bill Haller of the American League is behind the plate. John Kibler of the National League at first. Marty Springstead at second. And Frank Pulley over at third base. Joe Brinkman down the left field foul line, and Ed Vargo down the right field foul line. Runner going, swing and a miss, throw the second, and he's off the bag. He's safe. Out. Out at second base on the hit and run. Munson swung and missed the curveball. Yeager's throw was in the dirt. But Gary Thomason, after being called safe, slid past the bag, and he was tagged out.
Bill Thomason had clearly stolen the base. The ball bounced. Lopes had to go up in the air to get the bounce. Thomason had the bag, but he overslid it, and as he tried to scramble back, Davey put the tag on him. He was safe, then out.
1 strike pitch to Munson. Swung on, drilled to left center field. Baker's after it on the run, and it's up against the wall, and Munson will go into second base with a stand-up double. Well, the Yankees trying to hit and run. Munson failing, swinging through the breaking ball. Thomason oversliding the bag, getting thrown out. Then Munson doubling off the wall in left center field with 2 outs instead of 1 and a runner on base.
Of course, if you're a Yankee rooter, now is the ideal time to go shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had Thomason not overslid the bag, there'd be a run in. But that's the way the game goes. The Yankees had been getting those kind of breaks during the late season surge. So far in the series, they've gone to the Dodgers.
So Munson down at second base, 2 outs. Here's Reggie Jackson. Reggie had an excellent night last night for the Yankees, 3 for 5, including a home run. His 8th World Series home run. Pitch to Jackson is down low, ball 1. And with first base open, you would think Hooten might pitch very carefully to Reggie Jackson. Now Hooten looks in for a sign from Yeager. He checks Munson off second base. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Munson a short lead off second. Hooten looks at it. The 1-1 pitch to Jackson. Called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Heeling on deck for the Yankees is Greg Nettles, their third baseman. No score. Top half the first inning. Munson down at second base, 2 men out. Now Hooten's at the belt. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Got him with a breaking ball, and Jackson goes down swinging for out number 3. The Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, a man left on base at the end of 1/2 inning of play. The Yankees nothing. The Dodgers are coming up.
Here's Barsman and McCormick for Quantel Business Computers.
Well, today we're talking with another businessman. Sir, will you tell us about your company?
Yes, I'm in farm animal clothing.
Oh, you sell farm animal clothing.
That's right. Little hats for chickens, bull boots, pig masks.
Well, that's extraordinary. Tell me, how do you keep track of these items?
That's a very good question. I used to have a great deal of trouble keeping track of pig mask sales figures in my moose antler inventory.
Well, you might say you were on the horns of a dilemma.
Hey, well said. Anyway, then I installed a Quantel Quantel business computer and brought everything under control.
A Quantel business computer sounds expensive.
Absolutely not. I leased my Quantel computer for a paltry $345 a month.
Excuse me, but don't you mean a paltry $345 a month?
No, I mean poultry. Because as far as I'm concerned, $345 a month for a Quantel computer is chicken feed.
For Quantel information, call toll-free 800-227-1894. In California, call 415-783-3410. Collect.
And so the Dodgers prepare to come to bat in this last half of the first, and the Yankees half of the opener was 4 up, 3 down, 1 hit, 1 left, no runs, and a slight ripple of apprehension through Dodger Stadium here as the crowd wondered about the spirit of Hooten. They know he's got the stuff, but in the past he's been kind of shaky in these kind of games. And there was a feeling of worried anticipation in that top of the first inning. And now it's for the Yankee fans to ask their questions. Jim Hunter, who's been rudely treated in his last 2 games, it was he who started the last game of the season when Cleveland almost put them out 9-2. Jim was magnificent in the past 2 months of the season when his record, along with Figueroa's, just about put the Yankees home. Hunter, who on August 2nd had pitched 8 games, that is, had 8 games on his record, 4-1 and 4 loss, then went on to win 8 and lose 2, while Eddie Figueroa was winning 9-2. Along with the magnificence of Guidry, that was the story of the Yankees' surge. But Jim Hunter, who's had problem with his shoulders, didn't look right, didn't look well his last 2 games. Hooten got through a shaky first inning. Let's see what Jim Hunter will do.
All right, Wynn, and Davy Lopes, who became the 15th player to hit 2 consecutive home runs in a series game last night, and the 25th player to hit 2 home runs in a World Series game. And he'll lead off against Catfish Hunter here in the bottom half of the first inning. No score in the ball game. And Hunter's first pitch to Lopes swung on and popped up on the third base side. Greg Nettles over there in foul territory, waiting for the ball, and makes the catch. There's one away. So Dave Lopes wasting no time at all going after Hunter's first pitch and fouling out to a Yankee third baseman, Greg Nettles. There's one away. Here's Bill Russell, the Dodger shortstop. Russell was 3 for 5 yesterday. 2 singles and a double, and a right-handed batter. Hunter's first pitch is a called strike. Yankees have White in left, Thomason in center field, and Lou Piniella out in right field. The 0-1 pitch is bounced toward shortstop. Right there is Bucky Dent. Throws on to Spencer at first base, and they've got Russell. 1 away. Check that. There are 2 outs.
Number 8.
Lopes fouled out. Russell bounces out. That'll bring on Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith 1 for 5 yesterday. Hit 29 home runs for the Dodgers this year. Drove in 93 runs. Switch hitter. He's in left-handed. 2 men out, nobody on. In the bottom half of the first inning, no score. Now Hunter looks down the right side. And the right field umpire, Ed Vargo, is going out. I think something loose out there. A fan picks it up. Bill Haller, the home plate umpire, called time. Now he gets back behind the plate. Hunter looking at Mudson for sign. He rocks and deals the first pitch to Smith. Swung on and fouled straight back. Thomason, who had been a step or 2 toward left center, now moves straight away in center field. The 0-1 pitch. Too high, it's 1-1. Hunter's 1-1 delivery. Swung on, popped up right side. The first baseman, Jim Spencer, calling. He's there and makes the catch, and the side is retired. Dodgers go 3 up and 3 down. And at the end of 1, the score, the Yankees nothing and the Dodgers nothing.
At Ford Credit, we've been helping people finance their cars for 18 years. So we realize that sometimes a personal situation may cause you some concern about getting credit. For example, maybe you want to finance a second car and wonder whether you'll qualify. Maybe you've just changed jobs and you're concerned that this will affect your credit. And then again, maybe your income is subject to seasonal ups and downs. Or maybe you're just out of school and want to start building a credit rating. Well, at Ford Motor Credit Company, we believe in people. So whatever your personal situation, have your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer call us. He'll lay out a wide selection of payment plans. And credit decisions are quick while you're in the showroom. Remember, when you're buying or leasing a new car or truck, Ford Credit wants to give you credit for being you. Tell your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer you'd like to finance with us. Ford Motor Credit.
And so we've gotten through the first inning here at Dodger Stadium, and I think the adherents of both clubs breathe a little easy because the question marks are out there on the mound. Catfish put them down 1-2-3. Hooten had some problems, allowed 2 hits, but an overrunning of second base by Gary Thomason snuffed out what might have been a lead for the Yankees in the first inning. This may be the most crucial of the innings. They've gotten that first inning out of the way, both the pitchers. Let's see how they do this time. I don't mean to over-dramatize it, but I just got to think these fellas are question marks, and we're going to have to go away into this game before we find out which one, or do either one of them have it, or do both of them. Okay, Bill.
All right, Win, Greg Nettles waiting to bat against Bert Hooten here in the second inning. No score. The Yankees no runs, 2 hits. The Dodgers went down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first inning. Nettles 1 for 4 yesterday with a run batted in. Hit 27 home runs for the Yankees on the year. Lou Piniella waiting in the on-deck circle. Hooten's first pitch to Nettles. Overhand curveball is fouled back. Infield playing Nettles to pull. Say playing in the hole at shortstop, although he's a third baseman. Bill Russell, the shortstop, almost behind second base. Hooten now with the new ball, looks at Yeager. Now he starts up and changes his mind. He wants another sign, and Nettles backs off. Now the 1-strike pitch to Nettles. Low and in the dirt, it's 1-1.
Bill, have you noticed how often when any ball pitched gets to the dirt at the plate, then invariably the umpire changes it?
Well, Ed Vargo did that quite a bit yesterday. The 1-1 to Nettles. Curveballs, he called strike 1 and 2. Hooten with that knuckle curve. Nettles' .276 batting average this year for the Yankees, a high of his 10-year career. Low and in the dirt, 2-2. Once again, Bill Haller looks at the baseball, and he'll throw it out. Dodgers certainly here at the stadium would go through a lot of baseballs. Normally, a team or a game, you would use about 4 dozen balls. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Nettles. Low, ball 3, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And once again, we're going to get a new baseball.
I think that's Georgia clay down there, although I didn't know it was so abrasive. Obviously it is.
Full count on Greg Nettles, leading off with the Yankees in the second inning, a scoreless ball game so far. And the payoff pitch. Swung on, bounced to second. Right there's Davy Lopes. He digs it out, flips over to Garvey. They've got Nettles, and there's one away.
Number 14, right fielder, Lou.
Here's the Yankee right fielder, Lou Piniella. Piniella 1 for 4 with a run batted in. Batted .314 for the Yankees. They're only .300 hitter over the year. The Dodgers had just one .300 hitter, a regular, Steve Garvey, their first baseman, who batted .316. Average is down this year in the big leagues, it seemed, Win Elliott.
Obviously, something has been done with the ball. I remember the year before, they were all up.
Here's the first pitch to Piniella, and he takes down low, ball 1. Dodgers straighten up for Piniella, infield and outfield. He'll hit to all fields. Hooten rocks and deals a 1-0 pitch to Piniella. Called strike, that knuckle curve, it's 1-1. Game 2 last year was Bert Hooten against Catfish Hunter. Hooten won it by a score 6-1 at the stadium. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, right center field. Smith's after it. On the run. He's near the warning track and makes the catch. Reggie Smith got a good jump on a drive to right center field by Lou Piniella. Caught up with it on the warning track and made the catch easily. There are 2 outs.
That was easily the hardest hit ball of the night. I know it's only 2 outs into the second inning, but that ball carried pretty well.
Here's Jim Spencer replacing Chris Chambliss at first base. Chambliss with the bad right wrist. He hurt that wrist in the final playoff game against the Kansas City Royals, trying to check a swing. And Spencer takes a knuckle curve for a strike. He batted .227 for the Yankees on the year. Swung on and missed. Good high fastball. No balls, 2 strikes on Jim Spencer. Spencer normally a pretty good fastball hitter. Now Hooten rocks and deals the 0-2 pitch. Low and outside, it's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 men out, nobody on, no score in the top half of the second inning here at Dodger Stadium. The 1-2 delivery. Low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. After every pitch, Spencer backs out. And the 2-2 pitch. Line, base hit right field. Well, Spencer looked like he got a hanging curveball and drilled it to right field.
Well, they didn't miss Chris Chambliss at that time at bat.
Well, the Yankees pick up their third base hit off Bert Hooten. Jim Spencer, who does not run that well, is at first base. There are 2 outs, and Steve Garvey will play behind him. As the batter now is Brian Doyle, the Yankees' second baseman. Willie Randolph, of course, the irregular second baseman, out of the series with a pulled hamstring. And Fred Stanley had a doctor look at his thumb. He heard it last night. Pitch to Doyle. Down low, ball 1.
Doyle had 2 hits and 7 at-bats in the playoff series against Kansas City. He's a good contact hitter, but he's in there mainly because he's a left-handed batter.
Hooten sets and deals to Doyle. Swung on it in the air to center field. Rick Mundy back a couple of steps waiting and puts it away for out number 3. The Yankees, no runs, a base hit, and a man left on base. At the end of 1.5 innings of play, the Yankees nothing and the Dodgers nothing.
Hey, sports fans, did you know that now there's a great way to enjoy the series at home? And I'm talking about Mellow Roast coffee and grain beverage. Mellow Roast starts with 3 kinds of rich, robust coffees and then blends in roasted grain to take away the bitter edge. So you enjoy full-flavored coffee taste without bitterness. And that should make any sports fan a Mellow Roast fan, too. So why don't you pick up some Mellow Roast at your supermarket today and enjoy great coffee taste without bitterness. It's available in ground and instant.
I want that sinus medicine.
Headache tablet?
No, it relieves headache and congestion, internal sinus pressure, and postnasal drip. And it has added strength.
You mean added strength sign-off?
Exactly.
Added strength sign-off tablets give you pure aspirin plus 50% more sinus drainer.
To help sinus pain while you drain.
Right. And more sinus dryer for postnasal drip.
Added strength sign-off.
The sinus medicine in the bright red box. Take when needed, only as directed.
S-I-N-E-O-F-F. Sign-off.
Nothing at Dodger Stadium as the Dodgers are coming to bat in the latter half of the second inning. The only hits of the game so far, all New York, 3 of them. A single on the ground through the center by Thomason, on the ground to the right side by Spencer, and a sharply hit double in between left and center by Thurman Munson. The Yankees missing an opportunity to score in the first inning when Thompson, after a single, overslid second after he had safely stolen the base. Last night, there was very little tension in the ball game as the Dodgers jumped out quickly with Baker and Lopes in their home runs. And so far, the tension has been sort of a negative aspect. But as the Dodgers come to bat, their fans come to the game again. It's Steve Garvey.
And Garvey was 2 for 5 yesterday in the Dodger win. You mentioned he's the only Dodger to bat 300 this year, 316. That's a career series average of 380. He's been up 50 times with 19 base hits. So he likes the postseason games. Right-handed batter. Here's Hunter's first pitch to Garvey. Swung on and missed, and the bat flies out of Garvey's hands and goes into the Dodger dugout.
Right to the feet of the pitcher, Bert Hooton. And with the Olympics coming to Los Angeles in a couple of years, Garvey just showed his prowess with the javelin.
You know, I have a theory, Wen. Very seldom do you see a weak hitter lose a bat. It's always those guys who get the head of the bat out fast. The bat flies out of their hands. And of course, Garvey can get the head of that bat out. There's no balls and a strike on Steve Garvey as he gets some pine tar and puts it on the handle. And he stands back in. Yankees play him straight away. Hunter's one strike pitch. Low and away, it's 1-1. On deck is Ron Say, the Penguin. The 1-1 pitch. Low, 2 balls and a strike. Preston Gomez coaching at third base for the Dodgers. 2-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball 3. Hunter pitching very carefully to Steve Garvey here in the second inning. And the 3-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. Good slider. 3-2. Must have gotten just a piece of it. The ball bounced out of Munson's glove. He retrieves it and quickly gives it back to Catfish Hunter. Well, the count is full on Steve Garvey. The payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled back again. Now let's take 5 seconds for our stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
WCBS, New York.
So the Cat gets a new ball. Does not use much rosin as he looks in at Munson for a sign. And the payoff pitch once again to Garvey. Swung on, lifted foul, back in the seats down the right side. That's way out of play. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Hunter has had 10 appearances in the World Series to 6 decisions. He's won 4 and lost 2, but as a Yankee, he has not won. He failed against the Reds, and last year he failed against the Dodgers.
And the 3-2 pitch to Garvey. Swung on it in the air to center field. But right there is Gary Thomas, and started back, now comes in, waits, and makes a catch. There's one away. Here's Ron Say, the third baseman. Say was 1 for 4 in yesterday's Dodger win. Overall, through the year for the Dodgers, he batted .270, 23 home runs and 84 runs batted in. Yankees play him just about like they play Garvey. The left side of the infield plays him to pull. That's Nettles, the third baseman, and Dent, the shortstop. And the first pitch. Inside, skips off Munson's glove, goes back to the screen. 1 ball and no strikes.
Last year, Ron Say had one of the best beginnings any Major League Baseball player has ever had. This year, he sort of settled down.
And the 1-0 pitch to Say. Breaking ball is low and away. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Hunter getting behind the Dodger hitters. And, of course, when you do that with any big league hitter consistently, well, you're going to get in trouble. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground. 1 hopper to Greg Nettles at third base. Long throw across to Spencer, and they've got Say. 2 outs. Here's Dusty Baker. He had a fine night yesterday. 3 for 4, a home run, a run batted in. Hit one out into Bakersfield. Is that what Vince Scully says? All right. Little section out there in left field.
Actually, Bill Baker, 7 out of his last 9. He had 4 out of 5. I say out of, which dates me. The ball players now, you fellas say 4, don't you? 5-4-4, which means nothing. 4 out of 5.
Ah, yeah. He boosted his series batting average to .357. That was his second series home run last night. And here's a pitch to Dusty Baker. Curveball is down low, ball 1. Normally, if Catfish can get past the first 3 or 4 innings, he settles down and pitches well. The 1-0 pitch, a low and away, 2 balls, no strikes. But he's still pitching from behind, Win.
This is the 3rd straight batter that he's got behind. It hasn't cost him before.
Hunter's 2-0 pitch to Baker. On the outside corner, a good slider, 2-1. Here's a wind and the 2-1 pitch. Fouled back off the right side. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Baker. So far, the quiet here, the crowd here has been quiet. A little different from last night when there was quite a bit of electricity running through the crowd. 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air, right center, deep. After this, Piniella on the run over there, calling for the ball. And Piniella makes the catch in front of the 385 mark in deep right center field for out number 3. So the Dodgers go down 1-2-3. And at the end of 2, the score. The Yankees nothing, the Dodgers nothing.
Someday you'll own. Someday you'll own. Sooner or later you'll own General's.
For 60 years, General Tire has been one of the nation's leading tire manufacturers. But General Tire means more than tires. Our one-stop car care centers are staffed by experts who know how to take care of your car, whether it's wheel alignment, wheel balance, lube and oil change, muffler, shock absorbers, brake, or batteries. You get fast, dependable service using name brand parts and materials. Your car gets a free 7-point safety check, too. And best of all, it's priced right. For tires and service, check your yellow pages for the General Tire headquarters nearest you.
Sooner or later you'll own General's. Sooner or later you'll own General's.
Still a Midsummer Night's Eve here at Dodger Stadium, or a Midsummer Twilight's Eve. The smog has sort of let up. We not only see the foothills, but in the distance over center field, the San Gabriel Mountains, and by golly, even behind them, a third rank of mountains. I suppose still the San Gabriel, but the exciting thing about it is that you can see them. And it is definitely twilight now. The crowd has settled down, even as the game has. Neither team able to crack through, and you get the feeling at this point that the first team that scores is going to have, well, of course, a definite edge, but it might be that playoff edge that is so important. All right, Bill.
All right, Win. Bucky Dent leads off of the Yankees here in the 3rd inning. No score in the ball game. The Yankees no runs on 3 base hits. The Dodgers looking for their first base hit against Catfish Hunter. It'll be Dent, then back up the top of the batting order, Roy White and Gary Thomason against Bert Hooten. Bucky drove in a couple of runs in the 7th inning last night for the Yankees. He was 1 for 4. The RBI is coming on a single. Oh, Bill Haller, the home plate umpire, wants something moved behind home plate.
I think it's some lights back there.
Yeah. Oh, Dent waiting to stand in against Hooten. He finally gets in. The lights go off. Dodgers play Dent straight away, and Hooten's first pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1. Ron Say playing even with the bag at third base. The 0-1 delivery to Dent. Overhand fastball is low. It's 1-1. Now Say backs up a couple of steps. The 1-1 delivery. Overhand curve. 2-1. Down low. Hooten rocks and deals a 2-1 pitch to Dent. Low ball 3-1. The difference in the umpiring, Win Elliott. The National League, low ball league. The American League got to get ball up a little bit higher. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Ball strike 2, a fastball on the inside edge. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Somebody mentioned that was a possibility why Lasorda had started John yesterday to take advantage of the low ball which he throws in the National League umpire.
3-2 pitch to Dent. Swung on, popped up, out behind second base. Right there is Bill Russell, and the shortstop makes the catch. Ball actually ended up in the shallow left center with Russell going back catching it. There's 1 away.
Bill, do you think there'd be that much that sort of would be that subtle and trying to take advantage of an umpiring situation?
It certainly does not hurt to have a low ball umpire out there if you've got a sinker ball pitcher, because most of John's pitches, of course, will be down. Here's Roy White. He flied to right field his first time up. Pitch to White. Down low, ball one. 1 out, nobody on in the top half of the third inning here at Dodger Stadium. A scoreless ball game going so far. White drills one to right center field. Little fall base hit. Cut off by Mundy. White is going to gamble. Nope, he changed his mind. He'll go back as Mundy throws a strike into Bill Russell. Roy White took a big turn there at first base, thought about going to second. Mundy got over quickly into right center field and threw a perfect strike to his shortstop, Bill Russell, at second base.
That's what you call championship baseball. That ball was hit right on the nose, drilled right in that open alley. But the way the center fielder got to that ball and the throw, that was championship offense and championship defense, and that's what makes this game of baseball so exciting, when it's played to its optimum like that.
So White at first base, being held there by Steve Garvey. There's one away, and the batter's Gary Thomason, the center fielder. He bounced a single up the middle his first time up. Newton sets and checks White. Pitch to Thomason. Moves him back inside. Ball one. Thomason backs out. Now he gets back in. Now Hooten's at the belt. The pitch. On the inside corner, it's 1-1. On deck is Thurman Munson. No score in the ball game. Playing the top half of the third inning. 1 out and 1 on. Now White takes a short walking lead off first base. He's checked by Hooten. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing, down low, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, this is a good chance to see whether the change in the batting lineup because of Rivers being out and Randolph will really hurt them. That would have been Rivers on first, and he would have really had the pressure on him.
Now the set. And there goes White. The pitch is swung on and fouled back. The Yankees once again trying to hit and run. The pitch was up, and Thomason tomahawked it and fouled it back on the hit and run. And White will have to go back to first base. The count now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Roy White is an excellent all-around player, but he was no Rivers going down to second at that time. I think he would have been a dead duck.
Well, Mickey working with that hamstring, so he hasn't been running too often. Here's a set. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, drilled left center, but right over there is Dusty Baker calling. Waiting, and makes a catch. White halfway to second base, goes back to first. There are 2 outs.
Thurman Munson.
That'll bring on Thurman Munson, who doubled off the wall in left center field in the first inning. In that first inning, White flied to center field. Thomason, a single to center, then on a hit and run. Munson swung through a breaking ball, missed it. Yeager's throw down to second base got Thomason as he slid past the bag. Put out 2-4. Davy Lopes making the tag. Then Munson doubled. And Jackson struck out. So Thurm standing in against Bert Hooten here in the top of the third with 2 down. Here's a set and a pitch. Almost a strike. I think Bill Haller started to go up, but then changed his mind. It's a ball and no strikes on Munson.
Munson hasn't carried on, but it looked very good to me.
Now Hooten's at the belt. He's working quickly. And the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. It's called 1-1. Munson hit .529 for the Yankees in the 1976 World Series. But that wasn't the highest average by a catcher in a series. Cincinnati's Johnny Bench, that same series, hit .533 and was named the series' most valuable player. Now Hooten sets. Checks White. The pitch to Munson. Too high. Quick throw to first base, but White gets back. Steve Yeager likes to throw. We saw a fine throw down to second base by Yeager last night.
That kind of a pitch is the kind that Munson can occasionally go for. He loves to hit that high outside pitch to right and right center.
Well, they count 2 balls and 1 strike on Thurman Munson with White at first base and 2 outs here in the third inning. 2-1 pitch. White going. Ball is bounced in the dirt, blocked by Yeager, but White will go on to second base. That should be a wild pitch. White on the run. Hooten threw the ball in front of the plate. Yeager got in front of it, blocked it toward third base, but he did not get to the ball in time to get White at second.
Bill, they called it a stolen base.
Stolen base? All right. Oh, give White a stolen base. As he evidently was going on the pitch. Now Hooten wants another baseball, and Bill Haller throws that one out. 2 outs. White now down at second base, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike on Munson. Now Hooten's ready. 3-1 pitch to Munson. Swung on, fouled off the right side. That'll be over the Yankee dugout now to play, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Hooten gets another baseball. Now Bert's ready. Checks White. Payoff pitch. Outside. Ball 4. Munson walks. So the Yankees have Munson at first base, Roy White down at second, and with 2 outs, the batter is Reggie Jackson. Time is called now as the Dodger catcher Steve Yeager walks out to the mound. He wants to talk to Bert Hooten.
Bill Hollywood is just down the road, and boy, is this a setting for what, a dramatic moment in the picture as the most effective World Series batter on either club, and then for many a year, is now coming to the plate. The first time Hooten got him swinging, but you know that Reggie loves the stage.
Well, of his 8 World Series homers, 7 of them have come against the Dodgers, and 4 right here at this ballpark. So he likes this stage. Runners lead off first and second. Pitch to Jackson. Swung on, drilled down the right field line. Smith is after it and can't get to it. 1 run will score. The ball's lost by Smith. Now he picks it up, throws home, Munson around third, and he scores. And the Yankees now lead 2-0. Reggie Jackson ending up at second base. Oh, looked like it jammed Jackson. He got it down the right field line. Reggie Smith tried to shoestring the ball. It bounced in front of him. He kicked it over toward the stands, lost it for a second, picked it up. White scored easily, and Munson hustled in all the way from first base, and the Yankees now lead 2-0. Time is called now as Red Adams, the Dodger pitching coach, walks slowly out to the mound.
And so the Yankees puncture. With 5 hits, they now have the 2 runs. They have had the only scoring threats of the night. The Dodgers in the first 2 innings had gone down 1-2-3. And so once again, Reggie Jackson, they call him Mr. October in New York. I don't know what the Dodgers call him. But that man is something when the fat's in the fire.
Well, he's reached base 11 of his last 13 appearances in the World Series. So Jackson doubles in 2 runs. He's down at second base as Adam leaves, and Nettles stands in against Bert Hooten. Dodger bullpen busy. A left-hander out there throwing. We can't get his number from here, but it is busy. Now Hooten sets, and Nettles backs off. Time is called. He wants the umpire at second base, Marty Springstead, to move over behind Bill Russell, the shortstop. Now time's called again as Steve Garvey does a little house cleaning over at first base. Left side of the infield, the third baseman Ron Say and the shortstop Bill Russell playing Nettles to pull. As Hooten sets and checks Jackson at second base. Pitch to Nettles. Swung on and missed. That left-hander warming up for the Dodgers, Lance Routson. Terry Forster came on last night, pitched well in relief. Here's a 1-strike pitch to Nettles. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Reggie Jackson down at second base. There are 2 outs. The Yankees lead 2-0, picking up 2 runs here in the top half of the 3rd inning on a Jackson double. It's their 5th base hit of the ball game against Bert Hooten. Now Hooten sets. And the pitch. Fouled back. And was it held by Yeager? It was not held by Yeager. They looked down at third base at Frank Cooley, and he evidently felt that ball hit the ground before Yeager caught it.
Yeah, the umpire behind the plate wasn't sure as Yeager blocked his view. And he wasn't sure whether the ball had bounced or whether he had taken on the fly, so he called for help, and the decision was foul ball.
Now the set and the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him with the high fastball. Yankees scored 2 runs on Jackson's double here in the third inning. That's the end of 2.5. The Yankees lead the Dodgers 2-0.
When you're traveling across the country, there's a sign you're gonna see. Looks like a big yellow sign. It's the sign of quality. Quality is the most comfortable place under the sun. That's our sign, let it shine. Say where quality comfort shines. Quality is the most comfortable place under the sun.
Instead of just hanging around the house this weekend, break away for a mini vacation under the sun at a nearby Quality Inn. Most of our more than 300 inns offer one or more special weekend packages. You'll find plans for ski lovers, sun lovers, comfort lovers, fun lovers at very special prices. See your travel agent or call Quality Inns toll-free and break away for a weekend under the sun.
Quality is the most comfortable place under the sun. Quality is.
I'd have to see that.
Well, you don't have to write a book on Reggie Jackson, but he sure gets a paragraph. He set a series record last night when he hit his 6th home run in his last 4 World Series games. The old record was held by Lou Gehrig. He's now 8 in home runs for series play, and that ties him with DiMaggio, Robinson, and Skowron. That's 6th on the all-time list. Jackson has hit at least 1 home run in his last 3 series games. And that doesn't count tonight, which he has not done as yet, of course. He has hit safely in 6 straight series games, 13 out of 20, 9 out of his last 10. Well, I say, I guess you could write a book.
Well, Rick Bundy is going to try to write a book on Catfish Hunter here in the third inning with the Yankees leading 2-0. Rick will lead off against Catfish, then we'll get Lee Lacy and Steve Yeager, the bottom third of the Dodger batting order. Bundy 1 for 2 yesterday, a double. Left-handed batter, the Yankees play him straight away. And here's the first pitch to Bundy. It's too high, ball 1. Hunter Bensford gets his sign for Munch. Now he straightens and deals. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Bundy made a nice play on Roy White, moving quickly into a right center field, holding White to a single on what looked like a sure double. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped back. It'll be out of play. No chance for Munson, just under us. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the Cat gets a new ball. He has yet to go to the rosin bag. The 1-2 delivery to Mundy. Swung on and pulled foul into the upper deck down the right side. He really got out in front of a fastball. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That one practically went up into the lights. That was Rocky Mountain High. What a belt. If he'd have straightened that one out, it probably would have carried the pavilion in right center.
Well, we saw Jackson hit one deep into the Yankee bullpen on the backside of the Yankee bullpen last night against Tommy John. So Hunter now rubs the baseball up. Dodger fans now putting their hands together. They want something to happen here. The 1-2 pitch. Too high. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yankees lead 2-0. Dodgers batting in the bottom of the third. The 2-2 delivery to Mundy. Change-up, swung on and missed. Cat pulled a string, got Mundy out front, strikes him out. There's 1 away.
That's Mr. Hunter's first strikeout of the evening, but he has now set 7 of them down, the first 7 down in a row.
That'll bring on Lee Lacy, the designated hitter for the Dodgers. Lacey, a right-handed batter, 1 for 3 with a run batted in last night. Dodgers won last night, 11-5. Davy Lopes, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. And Hunter's first pitch to Lacey. Swung on and missed. Went after a slider, didn't get it. Lacey, one of 6 unsigned Dodgers. Bill North, Tommy John, Jerry Grody, Manny Mota, and Vic Davalillo. There's a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Manny Mota, he's been around a long time. Great pinch hitter. The 0-2 pitch. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter's 1-2 delivery to Lacey. Low and in the dirt, blocked by Munson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A single by Roy White, a stolen base, a walk to Thurm Munson, and a double down the right field line by Reggie Jackson. The Yankees lead 2-0. Playing the 3rd inning here at Dodger Stadium. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Driven to right field. Pinella starts in, now backs up. He's there and makes the catch. 2 outs. Lacey hit the ball hard, but right to Lou Pinella in right field. That'll bring on Steve Yeager, the Dodger catcher, looking for his first series base hit. He was the only Dodger held hitless last night by the Yankees. He was 0 for 4. Yeager, a right-handed batter, good fastball hitter. The left side of the Yankee infield plays him to pull. Right side, more or less straight away. White deep and left. And here's Hunter's first pitch. Called strike.
Catfish is beginning to find the outside of that plate.
I think all Bob Lemon wants is 6 or 7 good innings from Hunter. Then he'll probably go to Gossage. The next pitch. Outside, it's 1-1. 2 men out, nobody on. The Yankees lead 2-0 in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Now Hunter rocks and deals a 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. Off the right side, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So far, this inning, Hunter has changed speeds more.
He seems to have his rhythm in command now.
Gets a new baseball and deals a 1-2 pitch to Yeager. Fouled off the right side. Way back in the stands. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees 2 runs on 5 base hits. The Dodgers no runs. They're still looking for their first base hit against Catfish Hunter. Batting here with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Hunter wants another sign from Munson. Now he's ready. The 1-2 pitch to Yeager. Low, 2-2. On deck is Davy Lopes. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. In and out of Munson's glove. But still 2-2. Yeager backed out. Now he's back in. And the 2-2 pitch. Just missed outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Slider going away from the right-handed batter. So the count is full, 3-2. Yeager adjusts his glasses as he gets back in. Now the payoff pitch. Hit on the ground, Nettles to his left, dives, comes up with the ball, throws to first base, not in time. Threw a 1-hopper to Jim Spencer. Spencer blocked the ball and went out into shallow right. Spencer runs it down. Yeager just picked it up an infield hit. Nettles made a fine play, diving for that ball to his left, came up with it, threw in the dirt to Spencer. I think Yeager would have beaten it out anyway.
I think so, Bill, but it was a patented Nettles stop. Reminiscent of Brooks Robinson. He's the closest I've seen to the old Oriole third baseman. But the throw was into the ground, and Spencer, who is an excellent fielder, just couldn't come up with it. So Yeager has the first Dodger hit of the night, and here's the man of the hour, or the man of the series. Davy Lopes.
And Davy Lopes stands in. He's been up once. First ball hitting, fouled out to Greg Nettles at third base. Now the Dodger fans come alive. Pitch to Lopes is too high. A fastball. Ball one. Spencer playing behind Steve Yeager at first base. Yeager not known for speed. Yankees lead 2-0. Lopes batting with 2 outs and Yeager at first base. The pitch popped up on the right side in foul territory, and coming back is Munson. Cannot get to it. Back in the seats. 1-1. Buddy of mine. Note here given to us, Win Elliott. David Lopes last night became the first second baseman to hit 2 homers in a series game since another Dodger, Charlie Neal, hit 2 against the Chicago White Sox in a 1959 series game. Well, the count, a ball and a strike on Lopes. Yeager off first with 2 outs. The pitch, low, 2 balls and a strike. On deck is Bill Russell. Nettles playing even with the bag at third base for Lopes. As Hunter sets and deals a 2-1 pitch. Called strike 2, it's 2-2.
This is the first time the Dodger crowd has had a chance to urge the LA club to get on the board, and they're doing their best.
Now Hunter sets. Checks Yeager. 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air, deep center. Thomason after it, still going. Near the warning track and makes a catch and bounces up against the wall. So Davy Lopes got these people up as he drove Thomason to the wall in deep center for out number 3. No runs, a base hit, and the man left on base. And at the end of 3, the Yankees lead the Dodgers 2-0.
There's a kind of man who's mighty proud of his car, and you'll hear him say out loud, I take good care of what works hard for me. So for my car, it's STP. The man who takes care of his car keeps his carburetor clean to help keep his engine running right. He uses an STP air filter and STP carburetor spray cleaner. STP carburetor spray cleaner has a long needle nose to get right into tight spots and get the dirt out. Then he puts on a hard-working STP air filter to help take dirt out of the air before it gets into the carburetor. STP carburetor spray cleaner and STP air filters, because he loves that car, but he don't like dirt. I take good care of what works hard for me. So for my car, it's STP.
They say baseball is a game of inches. I happen to think it's a game of ifs. If only. If only Davy could have gotten around on that ball a little, it would have gone maybe 20 rows high in left center. That certainly was the hardest hit ball of the night. As Thomason went back, he went into the wall, about 6 feet, just between 385 and 395. A few inches higher, and this would have been a tie game. And Davy Lopes is a tiger with that bat in this series. Dusty Baker got a hold of one in the same general direction. Just didn't have enough. Bill mentioned yesterday that the ball players think the ball carries better in the daytime here than it does at nighttime. Well, both those balls were hit nighttime Pacific Coast time. It's now 6:31 here, midnight summertime, shirt sleeve weather time. I don't know whether the humidity or the heat kept the ball from going out, but that was as close as you could get. And so through 3 innings, it's the Yankees 2-0. The Yankees with 5 hits, the Dodgers with 1. And a couple of inches either way, we would have had a tie game. But that's the fun and the thrill of this game called baseball. And here comes the right fielder for the Yankees, Lou Piniella, who made the catch on Baker. And let's see what he'll do, Bill.
All right, Glenn. Lou's been up one time, fly deep to Reggie Smith in right field. The Yankees leading 2-0. Top half of the 4th inning here at the stadium. Here's the first pitch to Piniella. Bounce foul outside of third base. And Dick Hauser, the Yankee third base coach, starts with the ball, but he allows the Dodger bat boy to pick it up. Oh, it's 0-1. Hauser going to be the coach at Florida State after this year. The 0-1 pitch to Vanilla. Swung on, hit in the air, down the left field line. Over in the corner is Dusty Baker. Waits for the ball and makes the catch. 1 out. Don't often see. Of course, it's happening more and more when major league coach is going back to the college level to coach. And Dick Hauser's going back to his hometown to do that as soon as the season's over.
About Florida, Bill, did we mention that the Hialeah American Legion national champions were honored before the game? If we hadn't, they were.
And we congratulate them. Here's Jim Spencer. Hooten's first pitch is inside and high, ball 1. 1 out, nobody on, 4th inning, 2-0 Yankees. Spencer's been up once, single to right field. Hooten rocks and deals a 1-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up right side. Davy Lopes, the second baseman. He can't see the ball. Now he finds it and makes the catch. Ball first went up. Lopes had trouble finding it. Look at him pointing up. Then he finally caught sight of it, made the catch. 2 outs.
The last 2 Yankee batters were under the ball and really hit them, like I say, Rocky Mountain high.
Here's Brian Doyle, the second baseman. He's been up once. Fly to Rick Mundy in center field. Hooten's first pitch, line, base hit right field, just out of reach of a diving Steve Garvey. And Doyle will hold at first base. So Brian Doyle jumps on Hooten's first pitch and rips it past Steve Garvey. Yankees 6th base hit. Doyle now at first base, 2 outs. And here's Bucky Dent. Dent's been up once and popped to Bill Russell, the Dodger shortstop. Bucky chokes up on the bat, has a wide stance, does not hit for power, pulls most everything. The pitch taken outside, and Yeager fakes a throw to first base, and Doyle gets back over there.
Bill, do I notice that Bucky has that protective fiber there on his front leg?
Yes, it's a plastic shin guard. Fouls a lot of pitches down. Gets on top of the ball. That knuckle curve is over the outside corner, 1-1.
In that exciting tiebreaker up in Boston, he was not wearing it. He fouled the ball down on that leg. He had to have some ethyl chloride put on it, and the next pitch he hit into the netting.
Here's a set by Hooten, and the 1-1 pitch to Dent. Bounce toward shortstop. Russell's there. He'll play at the first base, and plenty of time. They have Dent, and the side is retired. For the Yankees, in the 4th inning, no runs, a base hit, a man left through 3.5 innings of play. The Yankees 2 and the Dodgers nothing.
Here's Barsman and McCormick for Quantel Business Computers.
Well, once again, we're talking with another successful businessman. Sir, tell us about your business.
I am the undisputed king of do-it-yourself kits.
Do-it-yourself kits?
That's right. Do-it-yourself bridge building, do-it-yourself buffalo breeding.
Most interesting. Well, you're obviously very successful. To what do you attribute that success?
My Quantel Business Computer.
Your Quantel Business Computer?
Must be an echo in here.
Yes. What does a Quantel Business Computer have to do with your success?
I can do it myself.
Do what yourself?
I can program it myself. For example, if I need a report on the costs of sales for my do-it-yourself brain surgery kit, I just punch a few buttons, fill in a few blanks, and voila.
Voila?
It's French for eureka, which is Greek for saxophone.
I see. Well, tell me, how are your brain surgery kits going?
Well, so far, nobody's come back to complain.
For Quantel information, call toll-free 800-227-1894. In California, call 415-783-3410. Collect.
Nice thing about radio is that no matter where you are, your radio can be with you, or portable, or the radio in the kitchen, in the cellar, in the workshop. And the nice thing about having a radio around is the CBS Radio sports coverage of all the top events, or certainly most of them. The National Football League action, that's on Monday nights, and the weekend games, and the Super Bowl, the Masters Golf Tournament, Racing's Triple Crown, and of course a lot more throughout the year. Listen here on most of these stations. CBS, your #1 radio network for news, programs, and sports. And as we come into the latter half of the 4th inning, the Yankees leading 2-0. It's Bill Russell who just made the play to face Catfish Hunter.
All right, Win. Bill's been up once, bounced out short to first. It'll be Russell, Reggie Smith, and Steve Garvey against Catfish Hunter here in the 4th inning. Yankees 2 runs, 6 hits. The Dodgers no runs on 1 base hit. First pitch to Russell. Check swing, foul. Back in the seats. No balls and a strike. Hunter now taking a lot of time. Looks in for a sign for Munson. And the one-strike pitch to Russell. Hit on the ground. Pass Nettles, base hit left field. Base hit number 2 for the Dodgers. And Russell will hold at first base.
For Bill, that's his 4th hit in these 2 games. He was 3 out of 5 yesterday. Now he adds another hit. And it was his base hit that won the playoff series against Philadelphia.
And the hand is for Reggie Smith, who popped up to Jim Spencer, the first baseman. His first time up. Smith, a switch hitter in left-handed against Catfish Hunter. Hunter sets and deals to Smith. Swung on and missed. Reggie hit 23 of his 29 home runs batting left-handed this year. Obviously more power from the left side. The next pitch. Bounce toward third. Nettles goes to second, and they get the force there. No throw back to first base. Nettles threw off balance to Brian Doyle covering second base. Doyle got there just ahead of a sliding Bill Russell to get the force. No throw back to first, so there's one away with Smith now at first base. Here's Steve Garvey. Steve's been up once, fly to center field. Yankee infield bag looking for 2 except for Spencer. He's got to hold Smith at first base. Garvey 2 for 6 so far in the series. 2 for 5 last night, 0 for 1 tonight. A right-handed batter. Yankee outfield plays him straight away with White deep and left. As Hunter sets and Garvey backs out, ball time. Jim Lefebvre, the first base coach for the Dodgers. Pitch to Garvey, swung on and missed. Swung over a curveball, 0-1. Steve Garvey and Enos Cabell of the Houston Astros, the only National Leaguers to appear in every one of their team's games this season. Hunter sets. Deals to Garvey. Swung on and fouled off the first base side. He's got Garvey off balance out in front of the pitchers.
Yeah, he is. That one came off the bat like a real squiggler. Although the Dodgers think this is their best, most natural hitter, that you can get him on a pitch, and he'll take the same pitch next time and put it into the stands.
Oh, it's no balls and 2 strikes on Garvey. 1 out, 1 on. Yankees leading 2-0 in the 4th inning. Now Hunter sets. The 2-strike pitch. Swung on. Hit foul down the right side. After it is Brian Doyle and Spencer. Doyle over there, and they cannot get to the ball. Bounces into the seats. Long run for Jim Spencer, the Yankee first baseman who has been holding Smith on, and Brian Doyle, the Yankee second baseman. So Hunter once again gets a new ball, rubs it up. Reggie Smith, not too big a lead there at first base. He's checked, and the pitch. Bounced foul, this time outside third base and into the Dodger dugout. Still 0-2 on Steve Garvey. Now the set. And the pitch. Swung on, fouled off the upper deck right side. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes.
Garvey had 4 home runs in a playoff series against Philadelphia, and in a mutual admiration society, Jackson and Garvey, they have the home runs along with Davy Lopes.
Here's a 2-strike pitch. High, a waste pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter put a little extra on a fastball, but got it out of the strike zone. He might come back here with a change of speed pitch. He sets, checks Smith. Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball is fouled off the right side. Once again, it'll just miss the upper deck. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Bill Haller gets a new supply of baseballs. Before this game is over, they'll go through 10 dozen baseballs.
But for the first time, Bill, you can feel and hear the tension through Dodger Stadium. Now the crowd has come to the game just as the teams have.
Now Hunter looks in it much. Still looking, taking plenty of time. He sets, and as he starts up, Garvey backs out once again, and time is called. Now we're ready. The 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to third. Nettles dives, comes up with the ball. Long throw the first. Not in time. Greg Nettles dove for the ball deep behind the bag, came up throwing and just missed Garvey. But everybody's safe. An infield hit for Steve Garvey. Moving into second base is Reggie Smith.
Friends, you will never see a better play than that. Not only did Nettles have to go to his right and dive, he slid on his middle about 5 feet, got to his knees, turned and made the throw, and Garvey, who is no slouch, beat it by just a step. And so now the Dodgers have men on first and second, only one out, and Ronnie Say to the plate.
And Ronnie's been up once, bounced to Nettles. Reggie Smith down at second base. Steve Garvey on at first, one away here in the bottom of the fourth. And Say backs off now, and time is called. Dodgers trying to get back in the ball game. They're down 2-0 here in the fourth inning. Nobody getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Pitch to Say is down low, ball one. On deck is Dusty Baker. Hunter's at the belt, checks the runner. The 1-0 pitch to Say. Swung on and pulled foul into the Dodger dugout. It's 1-1.
Bill, I think the three greatest, well, I never really saw Pie Trainer. I was aware of them, but Billy Cox of the old Dodgers was like a vacuum cleaner down third base. Brooks Robinson, and now this man Nettles. And now listen to the crowd tense up.
As Hunter sets and checks. The 1-1 pitch to Say. Swung on line, base hit center field. Smith around third, he'll score. Thomason's throw goes into Bucky's at the Yankee cutoff man. The Dodgers are on the board. The Yankees now lead 2-1. These Dodger fans are on their feet. Yankee bullpen gets busy as Dusty Baker stands in. Garvey down at second base. Ron Say on at first. As the Dodgers have broken through for Catfish Hunter with 3 base hits here in the fourth inning. Scoring a run. Pitch to Baker. Curveball is outside, ball one. Big Jim Beattie gets up and starts throwing in the Yankee bullpen as Hunter sets. The 1-0 pitch to Baker. A low ball, 2 balls, no strike. On deck is Rick Mundy. Now Hunter sets and backs off. Garvey back in at second base, Say at first. 1 man out. Yankee infield back looking for 2. The 2-0 pitch. Curveball round around the knees on the outside corner, 2-1. Dusty's been up once. Fly deep to right field to Lou Piniella. The pitch. Down low, ball 3, 3-1. Hunter slapped that ball in the glove. Now he toes the rubber. Gets his sign. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. The breaking ball. 3-2. Baker looking for the fastball. Got the curve. Swung through it. Well, the count is full now on Dusty Baker. Let's see how Tommy Lasorda will play it. Will he send his runners or will he stay with them? They're going. The pitch is swung on and fouled off. So on the 3-2 pitch, Lasorda gambling, moving Garvey and Say with 1 away. Of course, Tom trying to stay away from the double play. And Hunter wants a new baseball and gets one from umpire Bill Haller.
Now he wants another one.
Maybe he likes high seams, too. Tommy John, of course, likes the balls with the high seams. Well, the count, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Baker. Here's a set. Runner going. The pitch is bounced to third. Nettles has it. Tags it. Garvey throws on at first base, and it should be a double play. Garvey going out of the baseline. I think Nettles missed him, but a throw over the first base got Baker, and the side is retired. Dodgers pick up a run here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. At the end of 4, the Yankees lead the Dodgers 2-1.
The day is done.
Coming home.
It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind.
We'll go home.
So just say bud.
Say bud.
And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of bud is like an easy chair when you say Budweiser. Hey, Budweiser, it's absolutely the best way to call it a day, and that's any day. You know what I mean? When you say Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Through 4 innings here at Dodger Stadium, it's the Yankees 2 and the Dodgers 1. The Dodgers breaking through on Jim Hunter in that last inning, and only the fantastic play by Greg Nettles at third base saved further scoring by the Dodgers. Russell got a ball through the left side of the infield. Smith hit to third. Nettles chose to go to second and cut down Russell, a fielder's choice. Garvey then singled to left. Garvey hit the ball sharply down the third baseline, and probably the best fielding play of the series so far, as Nettles dove to his right, somehow managed to trap the ball, slid along his tummy right to the foul line, got up, but was a step light on Garvey. If that had been somebody like Yeager going down, he would have got him. At any rate, it saved the ball from going through, and it saved an additional run as things proved out. Ron Say cracking a single to left center, scoring Smith, but then the shot to that same Mr. Nettles by Dusty Baker. He tagged Garvey coming in and threw Baker out at first base. So Nettles had a hand in all the outs in that inning. And as we go to the top of the 5th, it's 2-1 New York, Bill.
All right, we're in win, and Roy White lead off of the Yankees here in the 5th inning. White has fly to right field. Single to right center, stolen a base, and scored on Jackson's double in the 3rd inning. White a switch hitter and left-handed. And Hooten's first pitch. Overhand curveball is a called strike. Say in at third base, he's on the grass there. The 1-strike pitch to White. Curveball again. This time it's too low. It's 1-1. Reggie Jackson doubling in the Yankee runs, and Ron Say singling in the Dodger run. 1-1 pitch. Misses outside. 2-1. Gary Thomason standing on deck. Hooten rocks and deals a 2-1 pitch to White. Swung on, bounced foul outside of first base. Gene Michael, the Yankee first base coach, grabs it. And he wants it thrown out. He throws it to home plate umpire, Bill Haller. And Haller will throw it out.
Roy White is a most deliberate batter as he stands up there sort of pigeon-toed, very careful on the way he addresses the ball, lets it get almost to him, and then suddenly uncoils.
And the 2-2 pitch to White. Too high, ball 3. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hooten's payoff pitch. Swung on and popped up. This one out behind second base. Bill Russell, the shortstop, back calling on the outfield grass. Makes the catch. There's one away. Here's Gary Thomason. Single to center field and fly to left field. He's 1 for 2. Thomason playing for the ailing Mickey Rivers. Thomason, a left-handed batter. Dodgers play him straight away. Hooten's first pitch. Curveball is a called strike. And the 0-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. 2 strikes on Gary Thomason. Now the Dodgers won last night 11-5. This is game 2. Series moves to a Yankee Stadium. 2-strike pitch. Moves him back inside with a fastball. 1-2. Don Sutton scheduled for the Dodgers. Ron Guidry scheduled to pitch the 3rd game for the Yankees. The 1-2. Swung on, bounce, foul outside first base. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gary Thomason. He's starting the first postseason game of his career, and he's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Yankees leading 2-1, batting in the 5th. The 1-2 pitch to Thomason. Swung on, bounce wide of first base. Garvey's there, underhand toss to Hooten covering. They've got Thomason, and they're 2 outs. Here's Thurman Munson. He doubled in the 1st, walked, and scored on Jackson's double in the 3rd. Munson 1 for 1. And on deck is Reggie Jackson. Munson making Hooten wait for him. Now he steps in. And the first pitch. Called strike. Hooten gets a sign from Yeager. Now he's ready. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, line, foul outside the 3rd base line. 0-2 on Thurman Munson. Hooten got that ball low and in, and Munson got the bat out front quickly.
That had the sound of a solid hit.
Pulled it foul. So the count, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Yankees lead 2-1 and batting in the 5th inning. Foul straight back by Munson. Count remains 0-2. Thurman has hit in 11 of his 12 series games. He's a money player.
Chris Chambliss not playing tonight has broken his streak. I think he had hit in 5 straight.
2-strike pitch. He swings, the ball gets past Yeager, goes back to the screen, and Munson will be at first base safe.
How about that?
Ball down the dirt, Munson swung at it, and the ball got past Yeager. No way Yeager could block that ball, and Munson's on at first base.
That's the shades of Hugh Casey and Mickey Owen and Tommy Henry. Yeah, the ball bounced before it got to the batter.
Well, it's a strikeout and a wild pitch. Munson on at first base, 2 outs now. Here's Reggie Jackson. A strikeout for Bert Hooten, a wild pitch. Munson on at first base. Now here's Jackson, who was struck out and doubled in 2 runs. As Hooten checks Munson. Pitch to Jackson. And it hits him. Jackson hit on the left wrist. And he'll go to first base, and Munson will go to second. Actually, it got him on the
right
shoulder.
I thought.
The left wrist. Yeah, Jackson looking at the... Garvey checks with him, and he's all right.
Bill, it was in 41 that Mickey Owen couldn't handle Hugh Casey's pitch against Hendrick, and the Yankees ended up, there were 2 outs at the time, just as it is here, and the Yankees ended up in the 9th inning scoring 4 times.
Oh, Yankee runners now at first and second with 2 outs. Here's Greg Nettles. He's bounced to second and struck out. 2-1 Yankees in the 5th inning. Hooten sets and deals. Swung on and fouled back. And Hooten gets another baseball as, once again, Bill Haller throws the old ball out. Munson off second base. Jackson off first, 2 outs. 5th inning. Now Hooten's ready. Checks Munson. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed by Nettles. No balls, 2 strikes. All the Dodger players wearing the number 19 on a black patch on their left shirt sleeve in memory of Junior Gilliam. Now the 2-strike pitch to Nettles. Swung on and missed. Nettles goes down swinging. Amistad is retired. No runs, no hits. 2 men left on base. And at the end of 4 1/2, the Yankees 2, the Dodgers 1.
In 1969, Jackie Stewart won his first World Racing Drivers' Championship. He repeated in 1971, then again in 1973. What Jackie Stewart doesn't know about cars hasn't been written.
I do know that cars just don't perform the way they used to. One of the reasons is the unleaded gasoline that the new engines call for. Unfortunately, most unleadeds don't have the power that gasolines used to have. Well, Getty Unleaded Regular does. It delivers the kind of power you got from gasoline before they took the lead out. Getty Unleaded Regular actually delivers more power than most other major unleadeds. As an ex-racing driver, that appeals to me. And while Getty Unleaded Regular delivers more power, it costs less than most other major unleadeds. I don't know how Getty does it, but as a Scotsman, that really appeals to me.
Getty Unleaded Regular. More power for less money.
Never mind the headlines. I would have been whooping all over here, too. The gremlins of the past almost came home to sit on the Dodgers again. So we go to the latter half of the 5th inning, and the score is tight. Yankees 2, Dodgers 1. Now, what do you say we pause 5 seconds for the stations to identify themselves on this, the CBS Radio Network.
WCBS, New York.
I still haven't gotten over that. You know, it happens once in 35 years, and it almost happened here again today. Well, Bill, we get back to a normal play now. A batter faces a pitcher. This turns out to be Rick Mundy, and let's see if Catfish is going to settle down, or are they going to get to him as they started to the last inning.
All right, Win. The Yankees lead 2-1. Dodgers now batting in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and it'll be Rick Mundy standing in against Catfish. That struck out Mundy in the 3rd inning. Bounced to first base. It's foul. Jim Lefevre picks it up, looks at it, and he'll give it back to Hunter. No balls and a strike on Rick Mundy. It'll be Mundy, Lacey, and Steve Yeager for the Dodgers against Catfish Hunter. The Yankees have 2 runs on 6 base hits. Both their runs driven in by Reggie Jackson. The Dodgers 1 run on 4 base hits. So Ron Say got the run batted in. The 0-1 pitch. Inside, it's 1-1. Hunter rocks and deals a 1-1 pitch. Bounce toward first base. Spencer has an underhand toss to Hunter covering, and he just nipped it with the toes. He skipped past first base. There's 1 away. So Mundy bounces out Spencer, the first baseman, to Catfish Hunter covering for the first out of the 5th inning. Here's Lee Lacey. He flied to right field his first time up. Lacey, a right-handed batter. Hit 13 home runs for the Dodgers in limited appearances in 1978. And he takes low and away, ball 1. Hunter's 1-0 pitch. Curveball is popped out. The second baseman, Brian Doyle, back on the grass. Now he's behind second waiting and makes the catch, 2 outs. Here's Steve Yeager. Yeager got the Dodgers' first base hit off Hunter. Beat out a bounce to the Nettles in the 3rd inning. with 2 outs, was left stranded as Davy Lopes flied deep to Thomason in center field. It was Yeager's first base hit in the series. He's now 1 for 5. And the first pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Jammed with a fastball up and in. No balls and 1 strike. Yankees scored both their runs off Bert Hooton in the 3rd inning, the top of the 3rd. Dodgers came back the bottom of the 4th for their 1. The 0-1 delivery to Yeager. Misses outside. It's 1-1. Now Yeager backs out. He'll get back in. And the 1-1 delivery. He checks a swing, takes it high, 2 balls and a strike.
Boy, you can tell that Yeager's all tuned in. There's nothing loose about his stance or the way he's handling that bat if he ever gets one in what you guys call the wheelhouse.
And the 2-1 pitch. Curveball is pulled foul down the left side. That'll make the upper deck. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeager looking for that fastball out over the plate.
Yeah.
So far, Hunter's location has been pretty good in the ball game. He has changed speeds well. No longer has that good blazing fastball. Really never did have the blazer. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Got him with a breaking ball. Yeager goes down swinging for the 3rd out. And at the end of 5 full innings of play, the Yankees lead the Dodgers 2-1.
This is us. This is JCPenney.
This is the time to save 10% on every toy in stock at JCPenney. Now through October 14th, save on girl toys and boy toys, fantasy toys and fun toys, traditional toys and today toys. The toys are here, so are the savings. At 10% off every toy in stock, this is the time to make Christmas the time of their lives.
This is JCPenney.
Don Knotts for Mailgram.
You know, politicians used to ignore me. Now I've got a way to get to them. I pick up the phone, but I don't call Washington, D.C. No. I call Western Union and send a mailgram message. Let me make one thing perfectly clear, Senator. That old impact of a telegram at a fraction of the cost gets their attention.
When you want to get through to the powers that be, call Western Union anytime, day or night, and get their attention with a mailgram message.
Hey, here's an interesting idea. You can get souvenir tickets from baseball's 75th Anniversary World Series. These become collector's items. You can get 2 commemorative tickets, one for each of the 78 series teams, colorfully printed and plastic laminated for a long-lasting souvenir value. If you want these souvenir tickets, why don't you send your check or money order, $3 to Souvenir Tickets. That's Box 969, San Bruno, California, 94066. That's Souvenir Tickets, Box 969, San Bruno, California, 94066. And don't forget to include your name and address. The proceeding has been brought to you on behalf of Major League Baseball. As we go into the 6th inning of the 2nd game here at Dodger Stadium, and the score 2-1 in favor of the Yankees, 2-6-0, and the Dodgers 1-4-0, and it's beginning to look like this game is going to be decided by 1 hit, 1 error, 1 bounce, or whatever. It's getting to that time where the seat isn't big enough, at least the edge of it, and you can feel the restiveness in the crowd here at Dodger Stadium. This time, they've got 4 innings, but they trail by a run. And every time a Yankee gets on base, that's just that much more. So, here we go, Bill. Lou Piniella trying to add to the Yankee lead.
And Lou's 0 for 2 in the ballgame against Bert Hooton. He flied deep to right field in the 2nd inning and flied to Dusty Baker in left in the 4th. Well, Lou 1 for 6 so far in the series with a run batted in. Yankees 2 runs, 6 hits. The Dodgers 1 run on 4 through 5 innings of play here at Dodger Stadium. And the first pitch to Piniella, swung on and bounced foul outside 3rd base. If you count pitches, Win Elliott, Bert Hooton has now made 75 pitches and Catfish Hunter 78. The one-strike pitch to Piniella. Swung on, bounced wide of third, backhanded by and dropped by the shortstop, Bill Russell. Ball was bounced wide of Ron Say at third base, got past him. Russell went over in the hole on the grass, backhanded the ball, could not control it. Piniella gets an infield hit.
I don't think he would have been able to make the throw in time to get Lou anyway. That was so deep, he was running in the opposite direction. That was a legitimate hit.
Right. That's Yankees' 7th base hit in the ball game, and here's Jim Spencer. Single to right field and pop to second. Left-handed batter is 1 for 2. Dodger infield now looking for 2. They're playing Spencer to pull. Hooten sets. Pitch to Spencer. Swung on and popped up in foul territory off the third base side. Over there in front of the dugout is Ron Say, and he makes the catch. 1 down, and Piniella still at first base. That'll bring on Brian Doyle, the Yankees' second baseman. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Fly to center field and single to right. A left-handed batter chokes well up on the bat, just tries to meet the ball. Say shortens up at third base. Garvey holding Piniella at first. There's 1 out. And the pitch to Doyle. Swung on, bounced to second, Lopes there, and bobbles, but then he has only 1 play, and that's the first base. Davey Lopes got to the ball, spun, thought about going to second, trying to get Piniella, but he bobbled the ball, controlled it, threw on to Garvey. They got Doyle with Piniella down at second base now in 2 outs. Here's Bucky Dent. Dodger outfield shortens up for Bucky Dent. Piniella might have trouble trying to score on a single. Now Hooten sets. And the pitch to Dent. Too high, ball 1. Bucky has popped up and bounced out. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Now Hooten sets. Checks Piniella at second base. And the pitch. Too high, a curveball. 2 balls, no strikes. On deck is Roy White. Once again, Lance Routson gets up and starts warming up. 3rd time he's been up throwing in the Dodger bullpen tonight. The pitch. Too high, a fastball. 3-0 on Dent. Now the set. And the 3-0 pitch. Called strike. Taken all the way by Dent. It's 3-1. Piniella looking over his third base coach, Dick Hauser. Nobody bothering to hold him close there at second base. 3-1 pitch to Dent. Called strike 2. Count is full. 3-2. After getting down 3-0, Bert Hooten has come back to run the count full now on Bucky Dent with Lou Piniella at second base and 2 outs. And the Yankees leading 2-1 in the top half of the 6th inning here at Dodger Stadium. Now Hooten's ready. And the payoff pitch to Dent. Breaking ball is fouled off.
Well, it's a great scene, Bill. One guy's just as gritty as the other, and each of them understanding what's at stake here.
About $30,000.
But more than that, it's just this tension of the moment.
Per man. For the winner. And the payoff pitch again. Swung on and fouled back again by Dent. Still 3-2.
Bill, most of these fellas make more money playing an ordinary season game than they get in these playoff games, don't they?
Well, it depends. I know, because the winning share would be about $3,000. I mean, about $30,000, depending on how many shares they cut it up into. The pitch. He checked the swing. No, he didn't. First base umpire John Kibler said that Dent went too far. He strikes out, and the side is retired. No runs, a base hit, 1 man left on base. At the end of 5 1/2, the Yankees 2, the Dodgers 1.
Hey, coffee lovers, now Mellow Roast is going to see you through the series with the kind of full-flavored coffee taste you love. Mellow Roast blends 3 kinds of rich, robust coffees with roasted grain so that the full coffee flavor comes through smooth and delicious, but without the bitterness. So make a real hit with your home team. You stock up on plenty of good Mellow Roast today and get great coffee taste without bitterness. Cup after delicious cup. Mellow Roast coffee and grain beverage. It's available in both ground and instant.
I want that sinus medicine.
Headache tablet?
No, it relieves headache and congestion, internal sinus pressure, and postnasal drip. And it has added strength.
You mean added strength sign-off?
Exactly.
Added strength sign-off tablets give you pure aspirin plus 50% more sinus drainer.
To help sinus pain while you drain.
Right, and more sinus dryer for postnasal drip.
Added strength sign-off.
The sinus medicine in the bright red box. Take when needed, only as directed.
SINEOFF. Sign-off.
Yeah, the score is 2-1 for the Yankees, and it's the last half of the 6th inning, and every time a man gets on base, if it's a Yank, you can hear the ripple of apprehension go through the crowd. In that inning, Hooten got to 3 balls, and they were getting a lynch party ready. Then he threw 2 strikes, and he got them, and it was all apple pie. And now, the Dodgers, trailing by a run, come to bat again. And it's Mr. Dynamite, Davy Lopes, who leads off. He hit one about as far as you can hit it in this park. The last time, that is, and stay within the park. And so away we go.
Lopes so far tonight against Catfish Hunter win is 0 for 2. He fouled out to Greg Nettles in the first inning and fly deep to Thomason in the third. It'll be Lopes, Russell, and Reggie Smith against Catfish Hunter. So far, Hunter's given the Dodgers 1 run on 4 hits. The Yankees have 2 runs on 7 against Bert Hooten. Nettles, even with the bag at third base. First pitch to Lopes, swung on and hit past Nettles, base hit. White in quickly, Lopes will hold at first base with a single. White's throw goes over the head of Bucky Dent, but Brian Doyle backs up, and they hold Lopes at first base. Well, the Dodgers get the leadoff runner on here in the bottom of the 6th, and that'll bring on Bill Russell, their shortstop. 5th base hit for the Dodgers. Russell has one of those 5 base hits, a single to left field in the 4th inning. He's also bounced to short. Lopes, an excellent base runner. Hunter checks in, throws to first base, and Davey gets back. This is the all-time record for the most consecutive stolen bases. Stole 38 in a row back in 1975. Pitch, Russell squares, takes low, ball 1. They had the sacrifice on. Nettles charging from third base, and Spencer from first. A lot of managers after a pitch like that like to put the hit and run on. Now the set. Russell squares and bunts it up in the air. Spencer is there, makes a catch in foul territory. There's one away. Russell attempting to move Lopes to second base, bunted the ball up in the air, foul off the first base side. Spencer charging, made the play easily. So there's one down. Lopes still at first base, and here's Reggie Smith.
What do you think the odds are that Lopes is going to try to steal?
Well, you've got a left-handed batter up there, which should block Munson's view just a little bit. And Lopes, of course, with great speed, you might think he's got to think about stealing. Hunter sets, goes to first base, and Lopes gets back. During the season, Lopes stole 45 bases, only caught 4 times. Pitch to Smith. Swung on and line fouled into the seats off the left side. A lot of thinking went in a situation like this. Do you let your runner stay there at first base? To keep that first baseman on the bag, giving the left-handed batter more room to hit through the right side, or do you let him run? The 1-strike pitch. Swung on and fouled back by Smith. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. The Yankees lead 2-1. The Dodgers are batting in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Since the fourth inning, the Dodgers have had some pressure on Catfish Hunter. The pitch, line base hit right field. Lopes will go to third base. Pinellas throws into second. Dodgers now runners at first and third with just one away. Reggie Smith drove one to right field. For single, Lopes going to third base. The Dodgers now have runners at first and third, and with one out, here's Steve Garvey. Garvey slid to center field and got an infield hit. Would have been at least a double, but Nettles dove to his right, came up with the ball, and just missed getting Garvey at first base. Pitch to Garvey. Swung on and fouled back. Yankees have double-barreled action in their bullpen. Two right-handers, Jim Beattie and Rich Gossage throwing. Davy Lopes over at third base. Reggie Smith on at first. Good speed on the bases for the Dodgers. There's one away. As Hunter gets a sign from Munson and sets. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes on Steve Garvey. On deck is Ron Say. Yankees clinging to a 1-run lead in the 6th inning. The Dodge a big RBI man at bat. 2-strike pitch. Chopped foul outside third base. Count remains. No balls, 2 strikes on Garvey.
The whole ball game is riding right here, at least up to this moment.
Well, ever since that 4th inning win, Elliot, the Dodgers have been applying just a bit of pressure. Although they went down 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. Here's a 2-strike pitch. Popped up behind the plate. Munson throws the mask away, coming back near the screen and makes a catch. Throws the ball quickly to Catfish Hunter. Smith fakes going to second base, but he'll stay at first. So Garvey fouls out to third Munson near the screen for out number 2 here in the 6th inning. Runners hold at first and third. And here's Ron Say.
It was Ron who delivered a ringing single to left center field. It's driven in the only run the Dodgers have.
Oh, he has single driving in that run back in the 4th inning. He's also bounced to Nettles at third base. And Say steps in. He's 1 for 6 so far in the series. The pitch to Say. Almost hits him inside as he backs out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. Cat kicking the mound in front of the rubber. Evidently slipped up there somewhere as he turned that ball loose. Almost clipped Say on the left shoulder. Dodger runners at first and third, 2 outs. A count, 1 ball, no strikes on Ron Say. The Yankees leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch, too high, 2 balls, no strikes. On deck is Dusty Baker. Munson's throw back to Catfish Hunter almost sailed over his head. Brian Doyle broke quickly in behind Hunter. Now the set. The 2-0 pitch. Curveball hit deep to left center. Roy White is over. That ball is gone. Ron Say, a 3-run home run. The Dodgers now lead by a score 4-2. Listen to the crowd.
They say a thing of beauty is a joy forever. And the crowd here at the Dodger Stadium is just carrying on as though they'd like to let this moment go for an hour. Ron Say just caught a hold of that and walloped it 385 feet, and he comes out for a bow.
Well, the Dodgers now lead at 4-2. The hits are all even at 7 apiece as Dusty Baker steps in. Baker swat deep to Pennell in right and bounced into a double play. He's 0 for 2. Pitch is fouled off the right side. That'll be over the Yankee dugout and out of play. Spencer giving chase, but he'll run out of room. Ron Shea has 2 series home runs, both of them off Catfish Hunter. No balls, 1 strike on Dusty Baker. Hunter's next delivery just misses outside. It's 1-1. Hunter rocks and deals a 1-1 pitch. Inside. Baker backs off. 2 balls and a strike. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Curveballs hit in the air to left field. Roy White digging in near the line. In foul territory now and makes the catch. Oh, the side is... Nope, check that. That's out number... That is out number 3. Nobody moved. They did that once in the playoffs and nobody caught it, but that's out number 3. The Dodgers score 3 runs on a 3-run home run by Ron Shea, and at the end of 6, the Dodgers lead the Yankees 4-2.
Whatever your occupation, here's something you should know about financing a new car or truck. If you're a teacher, farmer, or have any occupation with an unusual or seasonal pay schedule, you could encounter some problems when it comes to financing. And that's a very good reason to consider us. We're Ford Credit, and we give special consideration to people with unusual pay schedules. In fact, our programs can help your dealer try to work out a payment plan tailored just for you on a Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln car, Ford truck, tractor, or recreational vehicle. Ford Credit. We're as close as your neighborhood Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer. Remember, when you're buying or leasing a new car or truck, Ford Credit wants to give you credit for being you. Tell your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer you'd like to finance with us. Ford Motor Credit.
It's Dodger home runs that's doing it. Yesterday, a singleton by Baker, and 2 of them worth 5 runs by Davy Lopes that gave the Dodgers enough runs to win the first game. And today, or tonight, as the Yankees, Reggie Jackson doubled in a couple in the 3rd inning, the Dodgers getting 1 back in the 4th, and then with 2 on in the bottom of the 6th, Ron Shea, the 3rd baseman, hit one on a line 385 feet or so into the left center field stands. And so it's 4-2 with 3 innings left in this 2nd game. Dodger fans, 15 of them less than last night's all-time record throng, 55,982 tonight. And we understand that is the 26th time this year that there have been more than 50,000 people in this stadium. This year, an all-time more than 3 million folks have watched the Dodgers play baseball here, 3.3 million. Wow, they've got more than rays of sunshine in California. Okay, top of the 7th. The Dodgers now lead at 4-2. The top of the order for the Yankees, Roy White.
And Roy's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Shea shortens up at 3rd base for the left-handed hitter. First pitch is too high, ball 1. It'll be White, Thomason, and Munson against the right-handed slants of Bert Hooton. White fakes a bunt, takes high. It's 2 balls, no strikes. And the 2-0 pitch is taking a called strike. It's 2-1. Hooton working quickly. The 2-1 pitch to White. Too high, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Dodgers leading by 2 in the 7th inning. As Hooton starts up, time is called by 3rd base umpire Frank Bully. Now time's back in. Here's a 3-1 pitch to White. Called strike 2, 3-2. White started toward first base, called back by home plate umpire Bill Haller. And the payoff pitch. line left field coming on Baker. He will not get to it. He'll play it on the first hop. So Roy White leads off the 7th inning with a single to left. He'll hold at first base, and that'll bring on Gary Thomason.
The Yankees now have 8 hits, the Dodgers 7, and the difference is that one of the Dodgers hits was a home run by Ron Say with 2 on. They have the lead 4-2, but again, a ripple of apprehension through the crowd as this one starts to seesaw back and forth in anticipation and possibilities.
Gary Thomason, a single to center, fly to left field, and bounced to first. And now Tom Lasorda, the skipper of the Los Angeles Dodgers, taking a long, slow walk out to the mound. That might be all for Bert Hooten. He had Rautzung throwing earlier. Now it's Terry Forster out there throwing. And Rick Rhoden. So a left-hander Forster and a right-hander Rhoden throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Lasorda now is talking to home plate umpire Bill Haller. Somebody's got to leave. They've got a conference out there. Only so many men allowed on that mound. They're keeping Say and Russell away, and Yeager's out there along with Davey Lopes. And, of course, Bert Hooten. Roy White leading off this inning with a single to left field for the New York Yankees. Their 8th base hit, as Wynn told you earlier, makes Lasorda's wheels start turning a little bit. Now, Bill Haller out there, he's trying to hurry Lasorda along with his decision. Of course, Tommy will just argue and keep it going until he feels that either Forster or Rhoden might be ready, should he want to bring one of them in.
They're still in the midst of their discussion.
Understand there's a difference in rules.
Now he says, come on in, left-hander.
He wants Forster then. Of course, Forster pitched last night.
Now he's motioning with both hands. Maybe he wants both of them in. Now it's going to be Forster. I suspect this game is going to end up with the 2 former Pittsburgh Pirate relief pitchers, Forster and Gossage, dueling. I don't know what the score will be like, but I think we'll see them both. Is that Forster?
That is Forster. He pitched 1 1/3 innings last night. Struck out 3. Gave up 1 single to Chris Chambliss into left center field. Struck out Stanley, struck out Blair, and also struck out Roy White. So Forster on now, and he'll be pitching either to Gary Thomason or, I would suspect, a pinch hitter. With the Yankees down 2 runs in the top of the 7th, they have a runner at first base, and Paul Blair gets a bat, comes out of the Yankee dugout. Of course, he'll bat for Thomason and probably stay in the ball game. Bert Hooten gets a hand as he leaves.
As Forster warms up, as you indicated, it looks like Blair is going to come on. He's no stranger to pressure. You remember it was his hit that defeated Kansas City in the last game of the 1976 playoffs. While we're waiting for the game to resume, let's pause for a brief update from CBS News in New York.
This is David Jackson reporting on the CBS Radio Network. A filibuster threat in the Senate tonight sent energy conferees back to the drawing board to water down their proposed gas guzzler tax on fuel-inefficient automobiles. The Senate tonight passed a sunset bill that would automatically end funding of federal programs after 10 years unless Congress specifically okays more money. Government forecasts predict record grain harvest this fall, and the U.S. today told the Soviet Union it can step up grain purchases in 1979 if it wants to. Representative Goodloe Byron, Democrat of Maryland, died today. He collapsed while jogging. He was 48 years old. I'm David Jackson, CBS News. Now back to the World Series game in Los Angeles.
We're back at Dodger Stadium. The picture, the Dodgers leading 4-2. 1 man on for the Yankees in the top of the 7th. Nobody out. And Gary Thompson now back to the bench as Paul Blair comes in to pinch hit against the offerings of the relief pitcher, the left-handed blazing ball, Terry Forster. Okay, Bill.
All right, Wynn. White off first base. Nobody out. 4-2 Dodgers. Pitch to Blair. Swung on, drill left center field. After is Baker and Mundy can't get to the ball. It bounces into the seats. A ground rule double. So Paul Blair jumps on Forster's first pitch, a fastball, and ripped it into left center field. The ball bounced into the seats, and White's held at third base. Blair down at second. So the tying run now, down at second base. Nobody out for Thurman Munson.
Oh, boy. How quickly the complexion of this game changes. First pitch, whack, left center. Mundy almost gets to it. Can't. It hits the sward. One bounce over that 8-foot fence, and here we are. Men on second and third. Nobody out. And Thurman Munson, right-handed batter against Forster.
Thurman has doubled. He's walked and scored and struck out. Hooten went 6+ innings, gave up 2 runs on 8 hits. Walked 1, hit 1, struck out 5. Oh, White at third base, Blair down at second. Good speed on the bases for the Yankees as Forster sets and deals to Munson. Swung on and missed. Well, last night, Forster gave up a base hit to the first man he faced, Chris Chambliss, and struck out Stanley. Now the left-hander sets. And the pitch. On the outside corner, called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes on Munson. Thurman does not like the call. He backs off. Decides to take a walk. On deck is Reggie Jackson. Dodgers lead 4-2. A 3-run home run by Ron Say, the difference so far. We're in the 7th inning. Forster is at the belt. The 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Munson goes down swinging. And he has a couple of words with Bill Haller as he goes back to the Yankee dugout. That'll bring on Reggie Jackson. There's one away. Big strikeout for Terry Forster. Jackson has struck out, doubled in 2 runs. He's been hit by a pitch. He's 1 for 2. Dodgers keep their infield back. Kneeling on deck is Greg Nettles.
What are you going to say? Here it is.
Well, Forster basically a fastball pitcher. That's his best pitch. Might put a little slide on it. He sets. Checks the base runners. First pitch to Jackson. Swung on and fouled back. Got a fastball in on him. No balls and a strike. Jackson has 8 series homers, tops among the active players. A 4-way tie for 6th on the all-time list. And the count is no balls and a strike on Jackson. White off third, Blair off second, 1 away. Dodgers lead 4-2 in the 7th inning. Forster taking a long time getting a sign. Still looking. Now he sets. And the left-hander deals. Too high. It's 1-1. Yankees have out-hit the Dodgers 9-7, but the Dodgers have outscored the Yankees 4-2. Once again, the home run, the big weapon. Now Forster's ready. The 1-1 pitch to Jackson. High and tight, moves him out of there. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now Forster goes to the rosin bag, throws it down. White takes a walking lead off third base. Blair off second. Blair does not have too big a lead there. As Forster sets. And backs off, and time is called. Yankees had a 2-0 lead through 3. Dodgers picked up a run bottom of the 4th, made it 2-1 Yankees, and 3 big ones for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 6th. They lead 4-2. Now Forster likes a sign. He's ready. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on it on a ground to second base. A run will score as Lope plays it on to first base. White scores. Blair goes to second as Jackson bounces out 4-3. And the Dodgers now lead it by a score 4-3. Give Jackson another run batted in. He's driven in all 3 Yankee runs tonight.
And I think the Dodgers are sighing in relief. They'll take it.
So Blair now at third base. 2 outs. Here's Greg Nettles. Nettles has bounced to second and struck out twice. Dodgers play him straight away. Jackson with 3 runs batted in. Swung on and fouled off by Nettles. That got Yeager on his left toe, and he's hobbling around behind home plate. Now Nettles wants the rosin bag thrown behind the mound. Nettles picks up just about everything. He sees the umpires. They cannot stand out behind second base. He likes them move. He likes that rosin bag hidden on the backside of the mound rather than on top.
He's in the game every minute.
No balls, 1 strike on Nettles. Paul Blair at third base with 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes on Nettles. And the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed, and Nettles goes down swinging for out number 3. Yankees pick up a run on 2 base hits. They leave a man on base. And at the end of 6 1/2, the Dodgers 4, the Yankees 3.
When do you say Budweiser? Whenever the moment is right for a great beer. When do you say Budweiser? Whenever the good times are moving to right here. After the work is done, while you're still having fun. Anytime's the right time to say it. When do you say Budweiser? Bud's a beer for any time at all. When do you say Budweiser? The smile on your face tells the world what you're thinking. 'Cause when you say Budweiser, the #1 beer is what you'll be drinking. After the work is done, while you're still having fun, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Real power pitching by the Dodgers ace reliever, Terry Foster, after he gave up an opening double to Paul Blair, sending Roy White to third. He then struck out Munson, got Jackson to bound to second. That got a run in, and then struck out Greg Nettles. He allowed a run, but he keeps the Dodgers in the lead 4-3. And now, trying to keep the Dodgers from adding to it, is the former relief mate on the Pittsburgh Pirates, Rich Gossage. Rich, who throws a ball faster, or as fast certainly as anybody in baseball, has been a bulwark for the Yankees down the stretch. He's almost been an automatic, keeping the opposition from getting any closer. It was he who stopped the Red Sox in the tie-breaking game. It's he who has usurped the relief position from Sparky Lyle. Can you imagine a situation where you have a Cy Young Award relief pitcher, and then he sits on the bench all year because another guy is presumed to be better? Rich Gossage is pure power. He doesn't very often try to put the ball anywhere but over the plate, thinking that he can throw it fast enough that it'll be fast enough. And so here he comes to face the center fielder of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Last of the 7th, 4-3, Dodgers in the lead. Gossage against Monday, Bill.
All right, Wen, let's see. Monday so far in the ball game has struck out and bounced out, so he's 0 for 2. Gossage picked up 27 saves this year for the Yankees, and the fastball misses outside on Monday. In addition to that, he won 10 ball games and lost 11 with a 2.01 earned run average. The 1-0 pitch is line foul, left side, not a play. That'll make the upper deck. It's a ball to strike on Monday. Dodgers batting the bottom third of their batting order here in the bottom of the 7th. Gossage rocks and deals a 1-1 pitch. Fastball is low, it's 2-1. Gossage struck out 122 batters in 134 innings for the Yankees. Hit foul off the left side. That 2 will be out of play. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes on Monday.
Of course, the Dodgers have seen Gossage before with Pittsburgh. They may not have seen him. He is that fast, but they know what he throws.
2-2 pitch. Bounce towards second base. Brian Doyle digs it out, flips over the first base in plenty of time. They've got Monday. There's one away. Here's Lee Lacy. Lacy is 0 for 2. He slides to right and pops to second. Lacy, a right-handed batter. The Yankees play him straight away. Paul Blair now in center field for Gary Thomason. Lacy lines one, caught by Nettles. Greg Nettles moving quickly to his right, backhand of the ball. 2 down. Here's Steve Yeager, the Dodger catcher. Dodgers ahead 4-3, batting in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, nobody on base. Yeager has gotten an infield hit, and he is struck out, so he's 1 for 2. Yankees in the 8th inning will have Piniella, Spencer, and Doyle due in against Terry Forster. Here's a ball. Yeager backs out. Now he gets back in. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits. All 4 runs driven in by Ron Cey. The Yankees 3 runs, 9 hits. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. All 3 Yankee runs driven in by Reggie Jackson. Gossage rocks and deals a 1-2 to Yeager. Bounced out in front of the plate. Out quickly, Munson throws to first base in plenty of time, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for the Dodgers in the 7th inning, and through 7, the Dodgers 4, the Yankees 3.
Did I say Brooklyn? Did I really? Well, I don't see the Gowanus Canal or anywhere around here. That's the Pacific Ocean out there, when you can see it. Okay, that's the first time tonight, and I promised myself I wouldn't. Nevertheless, as they say, the left-hander Forster is warming up out there, and you can bet nobody's left this park. 1 run really doesn't mean anything when you've got the champions going. It just means 1 solid base hit, as Ron Cey proved. There happened to be 2 on, and that's been the difference in this game. Top of the 8th inning, the Dodgers 4, the Yankees 3, and the right-handed hitting Lou Piniella coming to the plate. And here we go, Bill.
All right, when Lou has 1 base hit and 3 times up. He flied deep to right field, flied to left field, and got an infield hit as Russell went deep in the hole and knocked down his bouncer, but could not get him at first base. It'll be Piniella. Spencer's kneeling on deck, a left-handed batter, and then Brian Doyle, who will probably be pinch hit for by Bob Lemon. If Stanley indeed can play second base, he'd been bothered by a sore thumb. Fred Stanley. Piniella bounces 1 foul outside third. No balls and a strike. The Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits. The Yankees 3 runs, 9 hits. An airless ball game so far. As Forster looks in for a sign. Now the left-hander rocks in the 1-strike pitch. Misses outside. It's 1-1. Forster struck out 3 Yankees in 1 1/3 innings of pitching relief last night. And he has 2 here. Struck out Munson and Nettles. Piniella taking his time getting set. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. 1-2. There's Stanley now running down to the Yankee bullpen, so we'll probably get a pinch hitter for Brian Doyle. Stanley will come on and play second base. The bottom of this inning. Time is called now as they open the gate for Stanley out in right field. 1 ball. 2 strikes on Lou Piniella, leading off of the Yankees. In the top half of the 8th inning, the Dodgers are ahead 4-3. And the pitch. Fouled back, just over the Yankee dugout. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yankees went ahead 2-0 in the 3rd inning. A double by Reggie Jackson driving in both runs. Ron Cey got the Dodgers within 1 with a single in the bottom of the 4th. Got him ahead with a 3-run home run in the 6th. 2-1, 1-2 pitch is looped to right center field. After it is, Smith will not get it. Base hit. And Piniella will hold at first base with his second base hit of the ball game. He's now 2 for 4. And here's Jim Spencer.
On the road, you play to take the lead. Or does Jim Spencer try to push him along?
Well, normally you play to win on the road and tie at home. So if the Yankees were in the stadium, they'd probably ask Spencer to bunt. But this is a series. You never tell. Say expecting a bunt at third base. Garvey holding on Piniella at first. He squares and gets a bat back, but it's a called strike. So Spencer evidently sent up the bunt. As we look at Cliff Johnson in the on-deck circle. He evidently will bat for Brian Doyle. No balls and a strike on Spencer. Forster sets, checks Piniella. The pitch, Spencer squares and fouls it off, attempting to bunt. 0-2. Piniella back at first base, being held there by Steve Garvey. Yankees trying to get the tying run down to second base. Now Forster sets. The 2-strike pitch to Spencer. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodger outfield now has Baker in left, Bill North in center field, and Reggie Smith out in right. Forster likes the sign. He's at the belt. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball pops out of Yeager's mitt, but does not go far enough for an advance by Piniella. They count as even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
In case you joined us late, that's Spencer at bat and playing first because Chris Chambliss' right wrist was just too painful to let him operate.
Now Forster's ready. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Third strikeout for Terry Forster, and there's 1 away. And Cliff Johnson now will bat for Brian Doyle.
Your next player for the Yankees, batting for Doyle, number 41, Cliff Johnson.
So Johnson just announced into the ball game with Piniella on at first base, 1 away, Cliff Johnson in. They play Johnson to pull in the outfield. Say guarding the line at third base. He's only a stride off the line there. As Forster sets. Pitch to Johnson. He takes, or did it hit him? Fouled it off, evidently. As they send Piniella back to first base. Ball must have nipped his bat as he tried to hold up, and it hit Yeager and bounced out in front of the plate. Piniella started towards second base, but home plate umpire Bill Haller waved him back. So it's no balls and a strike on Cliff Johnson.
Very deceptive. For a minute, I thought it had hit Johnson.
It looked that way from up here. We're at sort of an odd angle. Now Forster's ready. And Johnson is not. He backs off.
He was starting a hippity-hop dance in that batter's box. He didn't know whether to call time or stay with it.
Here's a 1-strike pitch. Inside, backs him off. It's 1-1. Forster with 21 saves for the Dodgers in 1978. Only got 1 for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 77. He's ready. Checks Piniella. The 1-1 pitch. Low, 2 balls and a strike on Johnson. On deck is Bucky Dent. Dodgers lead 4-3. Yankees batting in the 8th inning. 1 man out and 1 man on base. That's Piniella on at first base. Forster now once again goes to the rosin bag. Looks in at Yeager. Now he sets. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped foul. That'll be back out of play behind home plate. It's 2-2 on Johnson. Forster, the only free agent signed by the Dodgers. And he gets a new baseball. Bill Haller does a little cleaning at home plate. Now North moves deeper in left center field. Forster taking plenty of time as Pinella is off first. Now he backs up there. Checks the scoreboard. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Johnson with 1 away. Now the set. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced to third, stays there to second. There's one, first base, in time. Dodgers turn a 5-4-3 double play and get out of the inning. For the Yankees, no runs, a base hit, nobody left on base. And at the end of 7.5, the Dodgers lead the Yankees 4-3.
We're talking with the world's most satisfied person.
Boy, am I satisfied. I'm satisfied with my mother-in-law, my gas mileage, my tree, my paper boy.
Wait a minute. There's got to be something in your life you're not satisfied with.
Well, there is one thing.
Oh, what's that?
It's my office copier.
Oh, what's wrong with your office copier?
Well, I paid a lot of money for it, and it just doesn't have all the features I want.
Like what?
Well, it only copies on one side of the paper.
Well, the AB Dick 990 copies on both sides. What else?
Well, my copier only makes copies this big.
Well, the AB Dick 990 copies large documents up to 11 by 17 inches. This big.
Gee.
And here's the most satisfying thing about it. It's priced about $2,000 less than most copiers with comparable features.
Huzzah! I'm going to buy an AB Dick 990 copier.
Good for you. And now you've reached the pinnacle of your satisfaction.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm really not that thrilled with my paperboy.
Yes, the AB Dick 990. A lot of copier, a lot of satisfaction.
Forster kept working Big Johnson down and in and finally got him to bounce to third for the double play. And as we look out at the scoreboard, the Dodgers leading 4-3. The Yankees have out-hit the Dodgers 10-7. They only have 3 runs on those 10 hits, but the Dodgers have used the historic Yankee weapon, the home run. Ron Say knocking in all the Dodger runs, one with a single in the 4th and a 3-run homer in the 6th, and that is a difference. And we hope you're enjoying this World Series play. We hope you'll join us to enjoy National Football League action every Monday night, too. And then there'll be weekend games, double headers. Golf, the Masters. Racing, the Triple Crown. Baseball, in addition to the World Series, the All-Star Game, U.S. Open Tennis Championships. It's CBS Radio Sports for your favorite sports events. Last of the 8th. The 1-run edge. The Dodgers going to try to add to it, and their Mighty Mite, who plays second baseman and hits it a long way, Davy Lopes, Bill.
Well, Lopes got him started on that 3-run 6th inning when he singled. Smith also singled, and Ron Say hit his 3-run home run. So he's 1 for 3, and the first pitch from Gossage backs him off inside, ball 1. Davy Lopes now 3 base hits in the series and 8 times at bat. The next pitch, swung on, hit into center field. Paul Blair backing up, right there now, waiting, and he makes the catch. 1 out. Here's Bill Russell, the Dodger shortstop. Russell was 3 for 5 last night, and he's 1 for 3 here tonight. 4 for 8 in the series, 500 batter, right-handed batter. Blair shortens up for him in center field. The pitch is fouled off. Bill Haller runs it down, and he'll keep it in play. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Dodgers lead by 1. They won last night 11-5. The 1-strike pitch. Tries a bunt, fouls it back. 2 strikes. Russell had Nettles back at third base, tried to drop one down that side, but fouled it back. Dick Tidrow, a right-hander who pitched last night, is up and throwing in the Yankee bullpen. A 2-strike pitch. Swung on it in the air to center field. Blair backpedaling, waiting now. He's under the ball and makes the catch. 2 outs. Here's Reggie Smith. Singled and scored on Say's home run in the 6th inning. He scored 2 of the 4 Dodger runs. He forced Russell in the 4th and scored on a single by Say. He's also popped to the first baseman, Jim Spencer, and takes outside, ball 1. Yankees will have Dent, White, and Blair due in the 9th inning. Low, 2 balls, no strikes on Smith. Gosley's rocks and deals, a 2-0 pitch. Too high, 3 balls, no strikes. On deck, Steve Garvey. The 3-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Smith got the green light on 3-0. Swung through a fastball. It's 3-1. Pinella playing deep in right field for the left-handed batter. 3-1 pitch, it on the ground to Spencer. He digs it out at first base, and he'll take it himself, and the side is retired. At the end of 8, the Dodgers 4, the Yankees 3.
Here's Barsman and McCormick for Quantel Business Computers.
Well, today we're talking with another captain of industry. Sir, could you tell us about your company?
Yes, I have a company where I braid people's legs and I manufacture merry-go-round horse eyes. It's a conglomerate.
Oh, sounds complex. Tell me, how do you control this conglomerate?
Very simple. I use a Quantel Business Computer.
Oh, you're a computer expert, too.
Are you kidding? I don't know a thing about computers. I used to think that software was a programmer's long john.
Yes, then why a Quantel Business Computer?
Because it speaks my language.
What language is that?
English, my friend, English.
Oh, you mean like how now, brown cow?
That's the idea. And with Quantel's plain English programming, I didn't have to hire some white-coated wizard to help me run my business. And with the money I saved, I was able to acquire another company for my conglomerate.
What company was that?
A chain of coin-operated marriage chapels.
For Quantel information, call toll-free 800-227-1894. In California, call 415-783-3410. Collect.
Down to maybe only the last half inning in this game, and what a year this has been. Pete Rose with his 300th hit on the 44-game hitting streak, and McCovey, the young old man, in his 500th home run, and Ron Guidry and J.R. Richard in the strikeouts, and these last-minute pennant races. Very exciting. That's why better than 40 million fans enjoyed baseball at the ballparks. Baseball fever, they call it. Aren't you glad you caught it? The preceding has been brought to you on behalf of Major League Baseball, and that's what we've seen here tonight. The one blow by Ron Say, bringing in the 3 to add to the one he had knocked in earlier. And it's the Penguin 4 and the Yankees 3, the top half of the 9th inning. And coming to the plate, the doughty little shortstop of the Yankees, Bucky Dent, doesn't say much, but in the clutch he's there, as he was at Fenway Park. And here we go.
You know, when you're talking about the score would be, say, 4, Jackson 3.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
As Dent stands in, Say guarding the line even with the bag at third base. And the first pitch to Bucky Dent. Swung on line, base hit left field. The Yankees have the tying run on at first base as Bucky Dent jumped on Forster's first pitch and lined a single to left. That'll bring on Roy White. For White bats, let's take 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
WCBS, New York.
So Roy White, 2 for 4 in the ball game. He scored twice, both his base hit singles. Stands in against Terry Forster. Once again, the Dodgers expecting a bunt. And White squares and bunts and misses. Ron Say in close at third base. Garvey holds Dent, then charges from first base.
Bill, in the 3 innings that Forster has pitched, the first man to face him has hit him safely. Blair the double and the opening singles in the last 2 innings. But then he's tightened up and shut him out.
Now he sets, and the pitch runner going, swung on and fouled. Ball's in fair territory. I thought it was a foul ball. Throw the first. Oh, wait a minute. They got him at first base. And it was a fair ball. The way everybody reacted looked like it was a foul ball. Roy White stayed at the plate with Bucky Dent moving. Nobody moved, and all of a sudden White took off for first base. Yeager bounced out, picked the ball up, got it to Garvey, and they got White. Dent down at second. Odd play.
But it did move Dent to scoring position.
So the put out 2-3. I'd better quit umpiring up here. Here's Paul Blair, who doubled into left center field his first time up against Terry Forster. He was batting for Gary Thomason back in the 7th inning. Stayed in the ball game, went to center field. Pitch is too high, ball 1. I think White probably wanted that ball called foul. And decided that Haller wouldn't do it, so he took off for first base. Here's a 1-0. Swung on and missed. It's a ball and a strike on Blair. On deck is Thurman Munson. Dodgers lead by 1. Yankees have the tying run down at second base. 1 out in the top half of the 9th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Blair. And the pitch. He faked the bunt, got the bat back. It's 2-1. Ball's high and tight. Now Forster checks out the scoreboard. Then off second. He's checked. Checked again. And now Forster backs off. Of course, Den is not known for speed. He will not try to steal. Blair backs off. Time is called. Now he'll get back in. And right away, time is called again as Forster did not give Blair time enough to get settled in the batter's box. Now everyone's ready. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Inside, almost hit him. 3-1. Forster throwing that hard slider down and in on Blair. Missed with it. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now the set. And the 3-1 pitch. Too high, ball 4. Well, the Yankees have runners at first and second with 1 out for Thurman Munson.
Thurman has been a contrast in this game. Well, for instance, if you go back to the Kansas City game, the 3rd one, it was his unexpected left center field 415-foot home run with White on that won the game for him. Here comes Tommy Lasorda. He's going to talk to his left-hander, who in his previous time facing Munson had struck him out. There were men on second and third, White on third. Blair was on second. There were no outs, and Forster threw the ball by him. But Munson, of course, has the reputation throughout both leagues as one of the best clutch hitters around. And Lasorda's gone out, I think, to ask his catcher. What do you think?
Well, Tommy probably remembers that 3rd game at Yankee Stadium when the Yankees were down a run and Munson hit that big home run against Doug Bird. The Yankees won that ball game 6-5. Now Bill Haller out to the mound. He'll try to get Lasorda once again to make some kind of decision. Looks like Lasorda wants a right-hander. He's got Charlie Huff out there along with Bob Welch. They're both right-handers. Huff, of course, a knuckleballer. We'll see which one comes on. So that's all for Terry Forster as Lasorda wants a right-hander to pitch to Munson.
Okay, and while we wait for the relief pitcher to come in, let's set the scene again. It's 4-3 Dodgers over the Yankees. We're in the 9th inning. There's 1 out, and there are 2 Yankees on. And, well, let's pause for a moment.
Don Knotts for Mailgram.
You know, a lot of guys have no imagination when it comes to saying something special, but I have a way to really impress my date. I simply call Western Union and dictate a mailgram message.
Dinner at El Swanko is swell.
The old impact of a telegram at a fraction of the cost really makes them swoon. Next time, I might even pick up the check.
When you'd like to say thanks in a special way, call Western Union and send a mailgram message. And now here's news about another Western Union service.
Hello?
Hello, honey. I've been robbed.
Oh, no, what happened?
I turned around for a second and my wallet was gone. Some trip. If I don't get $300 real quick, I'm gonna...
Now there's a way to handle emergencies like this with one phone call.
Hello, Western Union. I want to send a money order to my husband. My master charge number is 467...
You can send money day or night, 7 days a week, and charge it to your master charge account. Just call Western Union toll-free.
Coming in to pitch for the Dodgers is their wunderkind from Albuquerque, Bob Welch, who didn't join the club until June 30th. He got in a second game in an important doubleheader with Cincinnati. He then helped win that one, won his first 5 decisions of the season, and he gave the Dodgers one of their biggest wins by shutting out San Francisco 2-0 on August 5th. Can he do well in relief? Well, he's had 3 saves. He beat San Diego 4-0 on the 24th, and that was the game that clinched the National League West title. He was the Dodgers' number 1 selection in the free agent draft. He's just a kid. I don't have any background on him. I know he's in his early 20s, but he's been the kid that has just revitalized the Dodger pitching staff, especially when Rick Rhoden came down with an ailing arm. And he's in there to face an old pro by the name of Thurman Munson. With his club just 1 run to the good in the top of the 9th, 1 out, Dent on second, Blair on first, and this is quite a load for a young man.
Thurman Munson.
So here he comes. Bob Welch, Thurman Munson, Bill.
Well, the Yankee runners at first and second and 1 away, and the Dodgers leading 4-3, and it's a 9th inning. Munson has doubled. He's walked and scored. He struck out twice. A right-handed batter. The Dodgers have their infield back looking for 2. Bucky Dent is the Yankee runner at second base, and Paul Blair, the runner at first. Pitch to Munson. Swung on and missed. That's the breaking ball. No balls, 1 strike on Munson. On deck is Reggie Jackson. I don't see anybody getting loose in the Dodger bullpen, so Jackson will get a chance to bat against a right-handed pitcher. Pitch is looped to right field. Smith coming on. He's there and makes the catch. Reggie Smith had Munson played perfectly. Capped the ball. Runners hold. 2 down. Here's Jackson. Now Davey Loaf will go to the mound along with Steve Yeager. They'll both talk to Bob Welch. Jackson has driven in all 3 Yankee runs. He struck out in the first inning, doubled in 2 runs in the third to give the Yankees a 2-0 lead. Was hit by a pitch in the 5th and bounced out the second, driving in the Yankees' 3rd run in the 7th inning. Well, the Dodgers cling to a 1-run lead. They need 1 more out to go 2 up on the Yankees in the 1978 World Series. Time is called now. Something loose out in right center field.
Whatever Reggie does, Bill, you're going to hear from this crowd. It's going to blow the smog right over the mountains.
Welch takes advantage to get a few throws in as they clear the field out in right field.
Reminiscent of the confrontation between Gossage and Jim Rice and then Carl Yastrzemski in that tie-breaking game in the American League. This is what it's all about.
So Dent moves off second base. Blair off first, 2 outs, and here's Reggie Jackson. Welch looks in for a sign. Still looking. Now the youngster sets. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Power against power. Good fastball hitter. No balls and 1 strike. North way out in center field and playing a Jackson to pull. Reggie Smith deep and right playing Jackson to pull. Dusty Baker straight away and left. Gap in left center field for Jackson. Now Welch sets. Checks the runner. It's the 1-strike pitch. Up and in. Jackson backs out. It's 1-1. Wow. Well, it gets down to 1 swing of the bat. Dodgers won last night 11-5. They're leading here 4-3. The Yankees have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and they count 1 ball, 1 strike on Reggie Jackson. Reggie taking plenty of time getting in the batter's box. Now he stands in. Welch gets his sign. He's at the belt. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jackson. Well, they're 1 pitch away. 1-2 on Jackson. Welch gets a new ball, rubs it up. And the Dodger fans now are on their feet standing. And Jerry. Bucky Dent does not take too big a lead off second base. Paul Blair one stride off first. Now Blair starts walking off toward second. Welch sets. Checks the runner. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back. No, the youngster is not backing down. He's throwing his best pitch, that good, hard fastball.
I don't know how anybody can hear himself think, leave alone know what to throw or know what to swing at. This is probably the most dramatic moment. The crowd is helping to make it the most dramatic moment of the 1978 baseball year.
And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jackson. And once again, the Dodger fans making a lot of noise. A pitch. Swung on and fouled back, straight back again. Still 1-2. Welch still going with that good fastball. Kneeling on deck is Greg Nettles. Dodgers lead 4-3. Yankee runners first and second, 2 outs. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jackson. 9th inning. Welch bends forward for a sign. Now he straightens. And the pitch. Up and in. Ball 2, 2-2. Now Jackson backs out. Bucky Dent led this inning off for the Yankees by slinging left field. White bounced out, sending Dent to second base. Blair was walked. Welch came on, got Munson on a fly ball. Good play by Reggie Smith in right field. He's got the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Reggie Jackson. Now the set. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Count remains 2-2.
Bill, Jackson knows he's got center stage. He's an old hand. He's been around. He's fixing his cap. He's staring out at the pitcher. He unclasps the glove and puts it back together again. He steps back out of the box. He steps in, plants the left foot, but he's not ready. Now he gets ready, fouls off 3 of them, and here we go.
And the runners lead off first and second. Welch with the sign. He's at the belt. The pitch. Too high. Ball 3, 3-2. So now the runners will be moving. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Jackson with 2 outs. And it gets down to this pitch with Nettles still kneeling in the on-deck circle.
Do you hear the crowd after they get through cheering? You can hear them suck in their breath, and that's as loud as a cheer. And again, Jackson sets the scene, fiddles with the bat, tweaks his nose, gets his hat ready, takes a practice swing, puts in the left foot, plants it, looks at the umpire. He's not ready with the hat again. Now the bat again. Just building it up. He knows he's got a kid out there. Okay.
And Dent will be moving from second and Blair from first. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Jackson goes down swinging, and the ball game is over. The Dodgers charge out on the field, hugging rookie Bob Welch. So it got down to 1 pitch, and Bob Welch threw a good ball that went down and in on Jackson. He swung through it, and this ball game is over. The final score: the Dodgers 4 and the Yankees 3.
At Kinney, we couldn't improve on our boots, so we improved on our price. Now through October 23rd, up to $5 off on boots to go at the Great American Shoe Store.
I'd like a pair of the 14-inch snoot boots to take out, please.
Certainly, sir. Now, would you like that with a little zip on the side?
A zip, yeah.
A big selection of boots to go at Kinney, all current and up to $5 off. Boots for every member of the family.
Tell you what.
What?
Give me 1 snoot, the padded lining,
Okay.
and 1 horse boot. And hold the stitching on that, could you?
You've got it, partner.
We couldn't improve our boots, so we improved our price, up to $5 off. But remember, now through October 23rd only.
I'd like 1 tan heel with strap and 1 brick wedge, please.
Yes.
And maybe for my young daughter the whip
stitch boot special.
How did you know?
Well,
Boots to go at Kinney. Fast and friendly service. Step up to Kinney and place your order now. And really step out in boots to go. From Kinney, the Great American Shoe Store.
You couldn't have asked for more. Reggie playing the master center stage. I said he knew he had a kid out there. Well, the kid turned out to be a man. Young Mr. Bob Welch threw it down and in. Reggie went around, stamped his feet in disgust, and it was all over. And the Dodgers had done it. They won their second straight. This one, 4-3. The Yankees, with wasted opportunities, went 3-11-0. The Dodgers, 4-7-0. Now, let's look ahead. The winner, of course, was Hooten. The loser was Hunter. Do you know how old Welch is? In some states, he's just old enough to vote. He's 21. Well, let me see. Only 6 teams have won the series after they've dropped the first 2. In 1955, the Dodgers did it against the Yankees. And then in 56, the Yankees did it against the Dodgers. The Yankees blew a 2-game lead against the Giants in 21. They reversed against Milwaukee in 58. Well, the last time the Dodgers won an opening game in a World Series, they went on to sweep, and that was over the Yankees in 63. And the last time the Yankees lost the first game, they went on to go home in just 4 games. That was the Reds in 1976. Well, last night's game had no tension. It had lots of hits, but no tension. Tonight, what'll I say? It was not for the faint of heart. It was not for the rooter who lost faith. It was for somebody who enjoyed baseball at its very best. Power pitching, excellent fielding, solid hitting, and in the end, the confrontation between the young man and the most notorious of all World Series home run hitters, and it was the kid who did it. Whew. We'll be back to Dodger Stadium in just a minute.
There's a kind of man who's mighty proud of his car, and you'll hear him say out loud, I take good care of what works hard for me, so for my car, it's STP. Yeah, in my car, it's STP. For the kind of man who changes his own oil, there's now STP motor oil. STP adds more to its oil, more of the extras that help make an oil work. And because STP puts more into it, the guy gets more out of it. For engines in good shape, up to 15,000 miles or 1 year between oil changes and normal driving. And what that means is extra protection for the car he owns and loves. I take good care of what works hard for me, so for my car, it's STP. It's me and STP.
So the Dodgers win at 4-3. Ron Say against Reggie Jackson. These are the fellas that knocked in all the runs. But, of course, the big headline tomorrow morning will be 21-year-old Bob Welch. Bill, I suppose it's expecting too much. We were kidding around before the game that Reggie Jackson reminds us of Captain Marvel. He gets up to the plate and Shazam, he hits him out, and he did. He knocked in the first 2 runs with a double. Then he hit in the third one with a ground ball to second, and then we come down to this climactic moment. You've been through this before all year with this club, and this is the first time it's really not happened for him, I guess.
Well, the kid made a good pitch. You mentioned 21 years old. It surprised me a little bit that Tommy Lasorda allowed the right-hander, Welch, no matter how hard he throws, to pitch to Reggie Jackson, but he got away with it, so it had to be a good move, and he made a good pitch. You've got to try to crowd Jackson with the ball. You can't let him open his arms up. He got the ball in. He got out a couple times. Jackson just got pieces of him, fouled it back, and he got that good sinker or something down and in. Jackson swung over it, and the Dodgers deservedly won this ball game.
And Ron Say was the hero in addition to Welch. He singled in the first round, and he hit in the remaining 3 with a bona fide home run into the left field stands. And so the Dodgers have used the old Yankee weapon. Yesterday was Baker and 2 by Lopes, and today Ron Say. And what are you going to say? This had to be one of the most exciting wind-ups in modern World Series in baseball history. We're going to continue our wrap-up in just a moment.
Fill her with Getty unleaded regular, please. Hey, Clarice, you see that guy getting gas across the island? You know who that is?
No, Lester.
That guy is Jackie Stewart. Do you realize he's won 3 world driving championships? Hey, Jackie, what you doing here?
Buying gasoline.
You use Getty, too? Hey, Clarice, Jackie Stewart uses the same gasoline as Lester J. Boyle.
Well, you're in the big time now, Lester.
Hey, Jack, do you know something about Getty us regular everyday drivers don't know?
I know Getty unleaded regular burns clean like an unleaded.
I knew that.
But it's got the power of a regular gasoline.
Well, I knew that.
And it costs a few cents less than most other major unleadeds.
Is that important to great racing drivers?
To great Scottish racing drivers, it is.
Getty unleaded regular. More power for less money.
Greg Nettles made a magnificent stop in the fourth inning on Steve Garvey. With men on base, he hit it sharply down the line. Nettles leaped to his right, slid 4 or 5 feet, got up, couldn't catch Garvey at first, but the fact that he stopped it from going in the infield saved a couple of runs as the batters thereafter started hitting Mr. Hunter. Well, the Yankees have come west, and they've lost 2 in a row. The two teams go back to Yankee Stadium. Tomorrow's a travel day. And on Friday, we'll pick it up again for the third game, a must game certainly for the Yankees. And fortunately for them, they have their must pitcher, or the guy who's been it all year, 159 pounds of Ron Guidry. For the Dodgers, it'll be Don Sutton. And that's the story. The Dodgers defeated the Yankees here tonight by a score of 4-3. We'll return with our post-game activities. Jerry Coleman talking to some of the stars of the game in a minute. For Bill White, this is Win Elliott for CBS Radio Sports.
Someday you'll own. Someday you'll own. Sooner or later, you'll own General's.
For 60 years, General Tire has been one of the nation's leading tire manufacturers. But General Tire means more than tires. Our one-stop car care centers are staffed by experts who know how to take care of your car, whether it's wheel alignment, wheel balance, lube and oil change, muffler, shock absorbers, brake, or batteries. You get fast, dependable service using name brand parts and materials. Your car gets a free 7-point safety check, too. And best of all, it's priced right. For tires and service, check your yellow pages for the General Tire headquarters nearest you.
Sooner or later, you'll own General's. Sooner or later, you'll own General's.
WCBS, New York.
From here at Dodger Stadium, I'm Jerry Coleman. It's the post-game show as the Dodgers win their second in a row. Last night, 11-5. Tonight, an exciting finish, 4-3. The young rookie Bob Welch striking out Reggie Jackson to end the ball game and hand the victory to Bert Hooton, the starter. Terry Forster in there for 2 1/3 innings to help the cause, and Bob Welch wrapping it up. So the Dodgers go to New York Friday night, where Don Sutton will be going up against Ron Guidry, and the Dodgers on top 2-0. We'll continue with our post-game show in 1 moment.
At Kinney, we couldn't improve on our boots, so we improved on our price. Now through October 23rd, up to $5 off on boots to go at the Great American Shoe Store.
I like a pair of the 14-inch snoot boots to take out, please.
Certainly, sir. Now, would you like that with a little zip on the side?
A zip, yeah.
A big selection of boots to go at Kinney, all current and up to $5 off. Boots for every member of the family.
Tell you what.
What?
Give me 1 snoot, the padded lining,
Okay.
and 1 horse boot. And hold the stitching on that, could you?
You got it, partner.
We couldn't improve our boots, so we improved our price, up to $5 off. But remember, now through October 23rd only.
I'd like 1 tan heel with strap, and 1 brick wedge, please.
Yes.
And maybe for my young daughter, the whip
Stitch boot special.
How did you know?
Well,
Boots to go at Kinney. Fast and friendly service. Step up to Kinney and place your order now. And really step out in boots to go. From Kinney, the Great American Shoe Store.
Jerry Coleman here at Dodger Stadium for the second night in a row. The Dodgers knock off the Yankees. Tonight the score 4-3. Dodgers 7 hits. The Yankees out-hit them with 11. No errors in the ball game. The Dodgers took good care of all the hits they got. They left only 2. The Yankees left 10. And the man that was in there for the second night in a row, the ace of the bullpen, Terry Forster, went 2 1/3 tonight. Gave up 3 hits and no runs. And Terry, how's that arm? Last night, an inning and a third. How can you come back that well and do so well?
Well, being in the bullpen my whole career, it's easy to bounce back. I ice my arm after every game for about 45 minutes. But when I went out there today, first couple innings I threw, I felt great. And then I went out there the third inning, I was sweating. I got a little bit stiff, but I felt that I could get the guys out. I know what the Yankees can hit primarily, and if I make my pitch, I'm going to get them out. I made 2 bad pitches out there. One to Blair, he hit the double, and one to Dent to start out the 9th inning.
And Blair was your nemesis, I guess. You walked him, and that cost you staying in the ball game because then they went to Bob Welch.
Yes, at that point I was a little bit stiff, and my shoulder and back were stiffening up a little bit, and I couldn't even come close to that plate. I knew that Thurman Munson was coming up next, and what I was going to throw him, if I was in there, I was going to throw him all sinkers down and away and hope for a double play ball.
Can you pitch Friday night if you have to?
I'll be in there Friday night no matter what. I've told everybody that I want to win this World Series, and probably more than anything I'll ever want in my life, and I want to beat the Yankees very, very bad.
Terry Forster, out of San Diego, now pitching in Los Angeles, is the only free agent the Dodgers have ever drafted or signed. You picked your teams well, Terry.
Well, definitely so. I'm very happy. I threw last year an inning and a third against the Dodgers and gave up 7 or 8 runs, so I didn't want to have to throw to them anymore if I didn't have to. And that was one big reason why I signed here in L.A. And I knew that they were a contending ball club. And I'm very happy. It was a great choice because it's a great ball club, great organization, and great guys on this team.
How about the stability of a pitcher? What was it? White Sox, Pittsburgh, bouncing back to the Dodgers all over the place in 3 years. The stability of pitching has got to be a little bit uncertain when you're running around like that.
Well, when we left the White Sox, Rick Gossett and myself, that year, I think I was 2-12 and he was 6-19. We're both starters, and I knew starting wasn't for me after that year. We went to Pittsburgh, and Gossett got a lot of work last year where I sat around in the bullpen for 6 to 8 weeks at a time before I got into a ball game. I came over here to the Dodgers. I knew that I had Lance Rotz, and I was the only left-hander, and I expected to work a lot and be in a lot of close ball games, and that's how it's worked out. If the management and the ball players bestow confidence in yourself out there in the mound, you're going to have confidence. And I think that was the big thing this year that I lacked last year. I just didn't have confidence in myself anymore. But this year I do. I say, here's my fastball, try to hit it. I'll say, here's my slider, try to hit it. And if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't.
Terry Forster tonight, 2 1/3 innings, 3 hit ball, no runs. It's 3 strikeouts and 1 walk, and another super job coming out of the bullpen. And we're going to be back talking with Bert Hooten, the man who went the first 6 innings in this ball game. We'll do that right after this message.
Jackie Stewart, winner of more Formula One Grand Prix automobile races than any driver in history.
Formula One racing can be incredibly expensive. Even tires and fuel don't come cheaply. Of course, in racing, the price of fuel is not much of a consideration. But when you're driving down the highway in a car that doesn't deliver such terrific gas mileage, and you've got to use premium gasoline in that car, well, then the price of gasoline should be a consideration. Paying premium prices for premium gasoline is not something I'd care to do. Not when there's a premium that sells for less than most other major premiums. Getty Premium. Getty offers quality premium gasoline without the premium price. That means you can get the power your car demands and pay less for it. So remember, when you fill up next time, fill up with Getty Premium. The premium that gives you more miles for your money.
From Dodger Stadium, I'm Jerry Coleman, where the Dodgers have taken a big leap on the New York Yankees, 2-0 tonight, winning it 4-3. And our special guest, Bert Hooten, a brilliant right-hander, came over from the Chicago Cubs. And let's go back a little bit, Bert. You found something here in Los Angeles you didn't have in Chicago. 18 wins that first year, 12 in a row, a new Dodger record. What was it?
I think, first of all, Jerry, it was hope. When I was in Chicago, I liked the town. I liked the organization at first, and I was full of optimism when I first got there, and it somehow just seemed to be destroyed. And when I came to the Dodgers, I found the new hope, found the new optimism, and I think along with the ball club and playing for Tom Lasorda and Walt Dalston, it's helped me tremendously.
Bert, tonight, Reggie Jackson, that guy, drove in all 3 runs, 2 off of you with a double in the 3rd inning. Not hit too well, though.
Reggie Jackson is, as you know, a very good clutch hitter. He's the type of hitter who rises to the occasion, but only if you make a mistake on him. Tonight, Bobby Welch was throwing good pitches to him, and Reggie was hanging in there tough until he swung and missed at the 3-2 pitch. Bobby threw good enough pitches to strike him out earlier than that, but the type hitter Reggie is, he battled Bobby just as hard as Bobby battled him, and it's a great tribute to Reggie just to watch him battle that hard.
Bert, tonight you came out in the 7th inning after giving up a single to Roy White. This was not the greatest Bert Hooton game ever. You gave up 8 hits. We've seen you when you've given up 2 or 3. Were you ready to go, or would you have liked to have stayed?
Jerry, I felt like the first 3 or 4 innings, I was struggling a little bit. I didn't have the good fastball. I had the good curveball, and it was breaking real well down. But the one pitch isn't going to get me out of a lot of jams. I feel fortunate enough to have only given up the 2 runs in those 4 innings, the first 4 innings that I pitched. But as the game progressed, the 5th inning, I started gaining a little momentum. I started getting a little pop on the fastball, started moving it around a little bit better, and the 6th inning, the same way. And I still felt like I had pretty good stuff. It was still getting a little bit better, I felt, in the 7th inning. I had good velocity on the fastball, much better than I had in the early part of the game. But I was throwing them a little bit high to Roy White. I was pleased with the velocity, but they were a little bit too high. And when I got behind him, I figured, well, now's not the time to walk anybody. I've got to make him hit to get on. He hit a pretty good pitch to left pitch to get on base, and I think Tommy had seen enough, but I was getting stronger.
Bert Hooton, this is a question that every ball player I've ever seen will dodge, but I got to ask you. 2-0 on the Yankees. You're going to New York. In your mind and in your heart, you think you got them?
Well, Jerry, I think I'm one that I never think we got them until we actually do have them. I'm not trying to dodge your question, but that's the way I feel. When we had the Phillies 2-0, you might have thought, well, we had them there, but you know, they came close to tying the series to 2-2, and you know, you just never know in a short series. The Yankees are a great ball club. They're a great defensive and offensive ball club, and you just can't take them lightly, especially now when we're 2-0. This is where we have to have our so-called killer instinct and really go after them now and just keep them down while they are.
Okay, Ron Guidry coming up against Don Sutton on Friday night. The odds favor Guidry, 25-3, a spectacular year. Sutton having somewhat of an off-season, not having that big year as far as winning and losing are concerned. How do you look at that game? Is Guidry the guy? Is he the mountain the Dodgers have to climb?
Yeah, Guidry, no doubt, is a great pitcher. He's had a great season, an almost unbelievable season as far as pitching in the big leagues. But you can't take anything away from Don Sutton. You look at his postseason statistics and you know, he's been in the league a long time. The guy knows how to pitch. When he doesn't have his good stuff, he still knows how to use what he has. And every time Don goes out, I still learn a lot just watching him work hitters and move the ball around. And it's going to be a good game, I hope. And Don, of course, you can't take anything away from him, even if he is pitching against Ron Guidry.
Bert Hooton, a 19-game winner in 1978. He is 2-1 in World Series action, and he'll be coming up again, provided the series goes that long. Tonight, he went into the 7th inning. He gave the Dodgers exactly what they wanted, 7 big innings with help from Terry Forster, and then the young 21-year-old rookie Bob Welch. The Dodgers prevailed 4-3. They set sail for New York, leading 2-0. The next one coming up Friday night. We'll have more after this word.
Here's Barsman and McCormick for Quantel Business Computers.
Well, today we're talking with another businessman. Sir, will you tell us about your company?
Yes, I'm in farm animal clothing.
Oh, you sell farm animal clothing.
That's right. Little hats for chickens, bull boots, pig masks.
Well, that's extraordinary. Tell me, how do you keep track of these items?
That's a very good question. I used to have a great deal of trouble keeping track of pig mask sales figures in my moose antler inventory.
Well, you might say you were on the horns of a dilemma.
Hey, well said. Anyway, then I installed a Quantel Quantel business computer and brought everything under control.
A Quantel business computer sounds expensive.
Absolutely not. I lease my Quantel computer for a paltry $345 a month.
Excuse me, but don't you mean a paltry $345 a month?
No, I mean poultry. Because as far as I'm concerned, $345 a month for a Quantel computer is chicken feed.
For Quantel information, call toll-free 800-227-1894. In California, call 415-783-3410. Collect.
At Dodger Stadium, the Dodgers did it again to the Yankees tonight. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 2 men left, so the Dodgers made good use of every hit. The big blow, the 3-run homer by Ron Cey. In fact, Cey, with a single and a home run, drove in all 4 Dodger runs. Reggie Jackson got himself a double and a ground ball to drive in all 3 Yankee runs. So the line score again, Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 2 men left. The Yankees 3 runs, 11 hits. They out-hit the Dodgers by 4. They made no errors, and they stranded 10. So the Yankees did not make good use of their hits tonight. The Dodgers had Bert Hooton in the first 6, Terry Forster for 2 1/3, and Bob Welch, the young rookie right-hander, 21 years old, out of Eastern Michigan University, came on to strike out Reggie Jackson and end the ball game and hand the Dodgers that 2-0 lead as they go to New York, and that'll be on Friday night. So it was quite a ball game, an exciting ball game, where pitching told the tale, and once again, the bullpen, Forster and Welch, were outstanding, and let's not take anything away from Rich Gossage, who pitched 2 perfect innings for the New York Yankees. So that's pretty much the way it is, fans. The second game of the 1978 World Series. CBS Radio Sports has been happy to bring it to you. Be sure to tune in on Friday for the third game of this series. Airtime 8:15 Eastern Time. The score once again, Dodgers 4, Yankees 3. This broadcast has been sponsored by Quality Inns, the most comfortable place under the sun. By the 1700 J.C. Penney stores coast to coast. By Mellow Roast Coffee and Grain Beverage, great coffee taste without bitterness. By Menley and James Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule. And Sign Off, the sinus medicine. By STP Products. And by the Brewers of Budweiser, the king of beers. For Bill White and Win Elliott, our statistician John Lowe, our engineers Steve Coley and Paul Gordon, our executive producer Frank Miller, and also our producer Scott Kiner, I'm Jerry Coleman saying so long from Dodger Stadium for CBS Radio Sports.
WCBS News Time is 11:38. I'm Palmer Payne on News 88. Weather in Midtown Manhattan is clear. We have 61 degrees with east-southeast wind at 7 miles an hour. A steady barometer. Partly cloudy forecast overnight with low in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, variably cloudy. Chance of a few afternoon and evening showers. Highs tomorrow mid to upper 60s. Friday, chance of a few showers in the morning. Partly sunny and milder Friday afternoon. High in the mid-60s. It's clear in Midtown, 61 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius. New York City's police department says it's been stepping up the war against organized crime.